Welcome to it, sports fans. It is the MKT Show. I'm MKT. Thank goodness for you. You can't actually see our faces today. That'll be today and tomorrow. We will have purely audio, which is great for some, not so great for others. The very handsome, not so intelligent after guy, James Illingsley. James, how are you doing, pal?
I'm good. I realized when I found out that we're doing audio only for the next 2 days, it made me quite sad. Because I went for a haircut and a beard trim just for the show to look good.
He did, hey.
He did. He looks handsome.
I like looking good. What can I say?
Now, what I've read is that once your partner, and this will probably, I don't know if does your girlfriend listen to the show, by the way?
Yes.
All right. So I've heard that once your partner starts changing their habits, generally their eyes are leaving the nest. So James, are you sort of in an affair right now? Are you looking for a new girlfriend? What's the story? I mean, you look good. I got to say, your beard. I'm not a hater. That beard looks awesome.
There's a dashingness happening here.
It is, huh?
I do enjoy looking good.
Oh yeah,
I do.
But have you always done this, or was it a new thing? Like,
there was a point where I couldn't care less.
Okay.
But I feel like I started. I felt like I had to start making an effort in the way that I looked, because that's all part of growing up, right?
Or also, your girlfriend probably leave you.
Yeah, that too.
I'd imagine she's a beautiful lady. Don't want to be with a slob. Probably helps that you look good now.
I mean, look, I'm a clean guy.
You are. Hey, you are a handsome son of a biscuit.
Son of a biscuit.
I will tell you that. The other voice.
You get those. Sorry, you get those. I love it when you see like a really nothing guy with like a really hot chick.
Yeah.
And obviously, the first thing we assume is there must be money.
Yeah.
Okay, but it's a friend of mine said it's the loser theory, because he probably went, well, I'm a loser. I'm not going home with her anyway.
Yeah.
So if I approach her, the worst that could happen is I go home with her, or she says yes, or she takes a liking to me.
Oh, I see.
So he says it's the loser paradox.
Oh,
He
my
said if
goodness.
you got nothing to lose,
Or he's just incredibly gifted.
well,
James, you
does,
tell us.
He does magic tricks.
That's so good. The loser theory.
The loser paradox also falls into people in flip-flops. Never trust a man in flip-flops because you've got
Agreed.
nothing to lose.
Agree-
If you're not on the beach or like in a casual setting and the man is wearing flip-flops, especially flip-flops with jeans, that guy is jacking your cell phone. He's got nothing to lose.
Flip-flop with jeans guy. By the way, this wonderful voice is the president of the Portuguese Association internationally. His name is Paulo Diaz.
Like Ruben.
Is it Diaz? Diaz.
Diaz.
Oh my God.
It's Ruben Diaz, Cameron Diaz.
Okay.
See, my only reference point up till now has been Cameron Diaz, but now I've got Ruben Diaz. So
But yours is spelled different. Is he a Z?
he's a S. D-I-A-S. D-I-A-S is Portuguese. The Z is Spanish.
Okay. Oh, and we don't want that Iberian sort of mix-up here.
That's cool. That's cool.
Iberia Gate.
That's cool.
All right, Paulo, how you doing, pal? Besides not wearing flip-flops with jeans.
And they will jack your phone.
They will.
Don't
Okay.
trust.
Hey, this is wisdom, dude. And you're so right. Guy with jeans, shirt, jeans, and flip-flop. No good.
Not like
Monster.
and we're not talking like holiday vibe. You know, when you go away on holiday, that's like holiday formal, you know? Like I'm talking normal day-to-day setting. You see a dude, put your phones in your pocket. That dude's taking your phone off your table.
He's just at the shops buying avos for his guacamole for his wife.
Yeah, no.
That guy's not to be trusted.
Exactly.
This is real stuff. James, so you're on cheating on your girlfriend, huh?
No.
Is basically what we're saying.
I wouldn't dream of it.
Absolutely awesome to have you. Paulo, where do we find you on the socials, by the way?
I'm at the real PTP. The rail. Maybe you want to be the rail PTP.
Does the PTP, does it stand for anything?
It does, but we're told no swearing. So
Okay.
Yeah, so
We'll leave it there then, I guess.
the P is a Afrikaans, the second P, because obviously it's Paulo the. The second P stands for it's like an Afrikaans swear word.
well, that's okay. I think everyone can kind of guess. James is a half Afrikaans, by the way, just so you know.
Which half of you is Afrikaans? Bottom.
Whichever half counts the most.
That is so good. All right, listen. By the way, it's a big sports show. This, as you can tell. Today we are doing. We're talking plenty of sports. So I'll tell you what we're going to talk about today. Paulo, of course, probably the only man that watches international football. We'll get into that a little bit later. Of course, the two Norwegians everyone's talking about right now, Odegaard, Haaland. We'll talk about them. I'll give you my thoughts on where I think Haaland should go, where I think the best place would be. And if you're a Gunners fan, I'll give you my take on what I think on Odegaard and how you're viewing him now. And I'm conflicted on the last subject. I'll tell you what. Eden Hazard, there's some rumors of him coming back to Chelsea.
Hazard.
Hazard.
Is
Is it Hazard, huh?
I don't know. I'd assume.
I'm not Arabic.
But
I need more Arabic friends.
we got to be more. We got to we've got ambitions broader than South Africa.
Yes.
So Hazard has got to be it. I'd say it's got to be Hazard.
This is a global show.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, let us know in the messages. Hazard. What do you say, James? You went to AFTA. I mean, the height of intellectualism.
I do say Hazard,
Mm.
actually.
Oh, do you?
Eden Hazard.
All right, so then I'm definitely saying Hazard.
We don't want to be like a Peter Indlove situation. Here.
Oh, wow. I don't. Hey, good trivia pull there. Peter Indlove. No idea, huh?
Nope, not for a second.
Unbelievable. Yeah. Well, we'll talk about Eden Hazard because James says Hazard, and a little bit more of that. But as I do, yesterday, of course. By the way, if you're into Formula One, yesterday, the greatest Formula One show you will ever hear. You will never hear a Formula One show talk about that spectrum of things, by the way. So go check out yesterday's show when we're done with this, of course.
We had a Heartbreak and Chill part 3 in that episode.
We did. James's heartbreak slowly. Like we're delving into James's subconscious, and the darkness is still there, and he didn't even realize it.
We're gonna get kicked off YouTube. I'm telling you now, they're gonna take us off.
They are. Because we're breaking James's heart.
Yeah, they're gonna take us off.
James, hey, tough. But I mean, listen, you got to toughen up.
Maybe they'll take us off for like bullying or something.
For bullying?
Yeah.
Oh, are we bullying you?
I'm looking for reasons as to why they would remove us from YouTube.
Oh, I see.
I don't actually think they would.
All right. Well, YouTube, if you are listening, we are not bullying James. We are just helping him. But listen, if you want to be credible in life, you got to be able to admit when you're right. And one of my biggest sort of attributes is that I'm almost too humble. A lot of people say I'm too humble.
Correct.
That's what
Correct.
the people are
You
saying.
are.
Yeah.
You are.
It's a gift and a curse. But you have to be able to say when I'm right, when I'm wrong. And I do this every single week. Let's get into it. Where I was right, where I was wrong. All right, where I was right. Listen, international football. I'm an adult. I have friends, believe it or not. None of them have said anything to me about international football, and it's been a week already. It is a dead thing. Listen, it's World Cup qualifiers. Nobody cares. San Marino, get the hell out of here. Have your own thing. I don't care. I don't want to watch it. I want to watch elite football. Where I was wrong. Listen, I said, France have the one great player. I believe when the pressure's on, great comes to the top. And they flopped. What it told me was that side's not ready to win. Are they ready to compete? Absolutely. They're youngsters. Galtier's got them firing. But I think they weren't good enough. And I don't have to think that. I saw it against Scotland. They crumbled as the pressure came. That first 20 minutes, embarrassing. They looked like the Bafana of rugby. No good there. Where I was right. Dillian White, the body snatcher, is an absolute animal. He got knocked out by Povetkin in the previous fight. And that was the shock of all shocks. Folks, we've all had trauma in our lives, especially it blindsides you. Hey, when you don't see it coming, it always knocks us down, and it's super, super hard to come back. For a heavyweight to come back after he got knocked out cold, went to the Rock of Gibraltar, he is now, of course, the mandatory for whoever wins the super fight that is coming between the Gypsy King and, of course, Anthony Joshua. So Dillian White, I was dead right there. I said he'd come back. I even put money to say he'll knock him out in 4, and he certainly delivered there. Where I was wrong. Guys, especially after yesterday, F1's a great product. Listen, I'm not going to start watching and becoming the biggest fan now. I want to be honest. But after chatting yesterday and realizing I've got the F1 app, I may even subscribe. It's a fantastic product. They are pushing the limits constantly, and I love that. I've always loved that about cycling. It's got a dark side to it. Listen, when you push the limits, I study the sciences, is constantly in science, you're always arguing two things. Is the advancement of humanity and the morality. There are always two beasts at play. And with Formula One, because the money's so large, any sort of progress is going to be massive. That comes with risks. But risks come with what we love, which is the human story, the romance, and indeed the downfall and the dark side of the human mind. So I was wrong there. F1, great product. Where I was right, Tiger Woods is golf. I was having a look at the numbers since Tiger got injured, actually. And Tiger hasn't been on the tour. The numbers for viewership on the USPGA Tour reported to be 150% down. 150% down. Tiger Woods is like nothing before. I never want to hear Serena Williams, Roger Federer, and I love the great Leo Messi, but football will be great without him. It'll have the same viewership. If you are young and you've never seen Tiger Woods on a Sunday in a red shirt being followed by the gallery, listen, the yuppies that go and watch golf, right? They love to present themselves as the most perfect people ever. They become Neanderthals on Tiger Sunday. If you haven't seen it, you have never seen anything like it. It is messianic. Right, the way they follow Tiger Woods, it is almost as though he has got the cure, of course, to their deep relationship problems when they've got that much money. Tiger Woods, an absolute beast. 150%, I read. The numbers have taken a dip. Where I was wrong. Listen, David Moyes, I thought his spirit and coaching died at West Ham. Everything about West Ham right now feels like there's hope. And in sport, that's all you need. Whatever team you support, ask anybody who supports Arsenal and Man United right now, what kills them the most? It's not so much the results. Where's the hope? Listen, the Hammers, the Bubbles, David Moyes, I thought it was over. I thought Sociedad was a disaster, but before that, Man United was, in life we say this. The worst thing in the world that can happen to you is getting what you want. He got what he wanted, and it became from dream to nightmare. Congratulations to Moyes. Whether you like him or not, I believe just this season has repaired his reputation. He'll inevitably get fired. It's the Premier League at some stage, but I think he'll get another job because of this. Just before the show, by the way, I want to say where I was right. We were talking about the great Sergio Kun Aguero. Two things here. Where I was right. Leo Messi is king at Barcelona. I said before, if you were watching the show 3 months ago when they're having the courtroom battles, I said there's no way he's going anywhere. What he's doing is he's fainting. What he needs is to win the political battle. What he needs is, because I've always said, in sport there's 3 phases, right? There's the I want to establish myself, look how good I am. There's the I'm at my apex phase, give me the ball, I want to be the guy, I'm great. And then there's the legacy phase. That's where Leo Messi is now. He's all about expressing power because he realizes in 20 years how it goes now is how we're going to remember him, right? Is he's bringing Sergio Kun Aguero. And I think there's big rumors there, and we were just talking about it with Paulo. Hey, he brings him, it's a whole different story because now Messi is starting to show us is, I'm in charge. Look, everything I've done for you. Remember the little kid when I came here and I was all nicey with the floppy hair? Now it's my way. I'm the beast. I am Barcelona. And look, I was right. I said Messi is now doing a power grab. Where I was wrong, conversely, I thought Aguero would finish at Man City, go to Boca, and then sail off into the sunset and have the nightmare of having Maradona's daughter as his baby mama. I was dead wrong. Kun Aguero, it looks like he'll go to Chelsea or he'll go to Barcelona. Probably Barcelona. Why would you go to Chelsea? Listen, Barcelona is one of the institutions. Barcelona, Real Madrid. You don't say no. Because that on your resume, I don't care how many titles Man United won, how much money Man City have, how much money Chelsea have. Barcelona, Bayern Munich, Real Madrid. You do not say no. Because that on your resume is lifetime. That's legacy, blue blood. I played for Barcelona. Are you kidding me? Kun Aguero. I was dead wrong. I thought he'd finish in England. Finish off on this. Where I was dead right at Barcelona as well. Dembele's a mess. What is he? His finishing's too awful to be a striker. At 130 bar, I think he cost them. What has he done? What does he give you that Griezmann doesn't? What does he give you that Messi? Messi in 5 years will give you what Dembele is now. All flash, all talent. And we do this all the time in life. We confuse value and talent. Is Dembele talented? Absolutely. Is he valuable when you've already got Griezmann and Messi? Absolutely not. He doesn't give you anything that they don't give you. So I think I was dead right there. I said it was a disaster at the time. When he left Dortmund, they let him go too easily. It's the Aubameyang thing. I said there's a red flag. No club lets him go that easily, even for that type of money, because Dortmund would have. They weren't like, oh, we're losing him. It was a little different when they lost Lewandowski. For me, I was right with Dembele. I've never had time for him. This is a guy who was late for practice because he was playing PlayStation. Finish off on this one. Paulo, this will touch your heart. João Felix, I love him. Everybody who knows me. I always say this is the best. I say him and Haaland are the 2 youngsters that take over Mbappe. Unfortunately, what I've seen over the last 2 months, the Chelsea performances, and he had his opportunities to be the guy. And in sport, I don't want to hear yes, but no, but you're either the guy or you're not, right? And I'm not saying he won't be the guy, but man, they paid a lot for him. And when I pay £108 million, I believe it was, I need you to be guy now, not in 2 years' time. Potential gets you fired. João Felix, I don't think he even gets into the Portugal squad. We'll talk a little bit about that after this. I was so wrong. I thought he was ready. I thought, you know what? Messi and Ronaldo now, they're coming to the other side. I thought he's the guy. I thought he was going to take over because I love his temperament. He's not ready right now. Haaland and Mbappe slightly ahead of him. I was wrong on João Felix. That's where I was right. That is where I was wrong. Paul, I want to finish off on that one. João Felix, your thoughts?
He didn't make his price tag, so he didn't ask to be sold for that price. Yeah, he's 21, dude. Like, I mean, you know, so if those are your arguments, is firstly he didn't decide that's his price tag. The flaw here is Benfica do nasties by their players, right? And he's not the first one, and he won't be the last one. Benfica sell too quickly. Benfica got no interest in a player developing with them and becoming a star with them. Benfica are there to sell. They did it with Renato Sanchez, who was never ready to be, never. I mean, he was the star, came in, had a good Euro 2016, then goes to Bayern Munich for a ton of money, totally flops, and then he's rebuilding his career in France now, slightly getting back to where he could have been. João Felix is the next one. Benfica turfed out Bernardo Silva. They turfed out João Cancelo. I thought the same thing was going to be with Ruben Dias. He didn't feel like he was ready to go, but Benfica don't care. So what they do with João Felix, the second the asset becomes saleable, this dude had a season and a half at best, half a season as a starter in the Portuguese league that we're not talking exactly ripped it up. Why sell? Because that's Benfica's model. So they do a nasty by him. The guy goes and sits. Everyone knew Atletico is the wrong club for him. Everybody. Where is Atletico Madrid the right club for a player like him? Tell me. Who didn't see this coming?
Hey, good point. But my argument, and I don't know if I was talking to you about it, was that I'm thinking, you know, you take him there is you also, because clearly the talent's there, right? We're not worried about talent with João Felix. My thing with putting him with Diego Simeone is that you say, hey, also this is how to be a professional. Because inevitably, how old is João now? 20?
21, and he's got to learn that because he is a little bit of a brat. He's a little bit of a diva, and Diego's going to smash that out of him. That's what's happening.
Yeah. So what do you think about that side? It's like, hey, we're not worried. Eventually, probably 24, 25, this talent equalizes. What you need to do is put him with Simeone because Simeone is going to crush the ego. We're not worried about the talent. He's going to be fine. But make him a professional.
You know, the same thing is that, and I'm going back years now, Ricardo Quaresma, right? At the time on talent was a better player than Ronaldo. At the time when they broke through, okay? He had the talent. He looked big league ready compared to Ronaldo. Quaresma goes to Barcelona, doesn't really fit, doesn't really work. Similar to what's happening with João Felix. A lot of money, a lot of reputation. He made the wrong move after wrong move after wrong move after wrong move. And I just think that's the thing with João Felix. I reckon he's got to stick it out, but at that money, he might not want to. Although at that money, Atletico aren't recouping that anytime soon. So it's like, do you take the punt and try to outlast Simeone, or do you make the wrong move? And that's the fear with him, is that there's not many clubs who are going to afford him, which is the plus side. And it's just about the wrong move. The guy's going to come good. Like, there's such an intelligence in that player there. He will come good.
Yeah. Look, for me, if you're a Portugal fan, for me, he's in the best place. And I know in terms of the playing setup, what I love about Simeone is that he'll make you a pro. You know, sometimes we forget this, especially when we see talented. We forget that, hey, he's still 20. Like, he doesn't know Cristiano Ronaldo is an outlier. No, not everybody at 20 is maniacal like Ronaldo, where they have to kick him out the gym. You know, I think João, especially now, you say, you know, he got kicked out of home at Benfica so early, there is no arm around him now. You know, in life, sometimes if you want to be the guy or the girl, you need mentorship. You know, being the guy, that's a whole different beast. He's not ready to be Griezmann, but I think Simeone will teach him that, and then the talent will take care of the rest, I hope.
And this is probably the first time in this guy's life that somebody said no to him, that he's not been first choice, that he's not had the garlands thrown in front of him, because this guy's been, since he touched down at Benfica, this is the next. This is the guy. No one says no to him. Easy, scores lots of goals, easy. The progression's been easy, national team, easy. It's the first time in his life someone said, no, what you do is not right for what we need.
Yeah.
I think you're going to see a better player come out of this. So it's not fair to judge him now. This is, you put Mbappe, Haaland, okay, it's hard because I think those guys do have something else. But definitely as that next tier below, I definitely think João Felix is going to sit there.
And so while you're on the Portugal thing, should we get into a little bit of what happened on the weekend? Because you're probably the only person in the world who watched
It feels like
international football.
It does feel like Portuguese are the only people that watch international football, and Portuguese are outrageously loyal to the Portuguese national side. I mean, we really are. Like back in the days, we used to spend like 6,000 rand on massive, like Bucky size satellite dishes to put in our yards just to watch a fuzzy picture of Portugal playing in like the USSR, you know, once every now and again. So we're insanely loyal. Even when they were rubbish, we were like loyal.
Yeah, South African Portuguese people are the most Portuguese people on earth.
It does feel that way.
Oh my goodness.
It does feel that way.
I remember seeing people crying. Like, I can't remember what it was. Like crying when Portugal lost. Just like weeping.
It is plus. So, I mean, when we get the opportunity now that it's so easy to watch it on SuperSport compared to what we used to go through, right? So, I mean, what you're talking about obviously is Portugal go play Serbia, 2-0 lead, slip to 2-2 Ronaldo scores in the last minute. Ball crosses the line.
Or did he though?
Okay, guys, I know we're all about like creating. I mean, take out that ball was across the line.
That was 100% a goal, for sure.
A meter-ish easy over, right? Sure. And there's been quite a bit of fallout on that. Ronaldo, obviously being Ronaldo, throws a tantrum. In the least shocking headline, Ronaldo throws a tantrum. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's what day of the week is it, you know?
Heartbreak there, huh?
Throws his armband on
Captain's
the floor.
armband.
Everyone, you know, every ex-international with half an opinion in Portugal has had something to say about it. I think a couple of things on that is that as that game kicks off, draw away to Serbia in a difficult time, 3 international matches in a week. Our home game against Azerbaijan was played in Juventus because that's the only way we could get our Premier League players in.
Yeah.
We played...
You mean Wolves?
The Wolves, that's the only way we could get Wolves. And Man City now. I think we've got just as many starters at Man City as we do at Wolves. Wow. So that's the only way we could get our players in. And then now we've got to play in Serbia. Serbia, strong side. They're exactly the sort of team that we battle against. Solid, strong, technically, tactically good. Not flair, but physical. We always battle against that. Give us Brazil, Spain any day.
Yeah.
We seem to handle that. Give us Serbia, Croatia, German team, you know, the old Germany, not this new sort of like vertical tiki-taka that they play now. But that's the teams we battle against. Beginning of that game, give us a draw, we take it all day long. Mitrovic, he pummels our defenders, you know what I mean? And I think it's been, I'm not like hysterical about it, because it's 2 games in. I think the bigger pictures here are going, from a Portugal point of view, is you blew a 2-goal lead.
Yeah.
You know, this is a fantastic smoke screen because now it's
punch in the gut sack.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Rui Patricio saves both of those. You know, he's in goals. At least one doesn't get scored. But I think
is that how you say his first name?
You're gonna get schooled here. Rui. Yeah.
Rui.
Wow.
R-U-I. Rui. Yeah.
Goodness.
Hey. Portuguese.
João. That's my first name as well. João Felix. I'm João Paulo.
Oh really?
Yeah. Yeah.
What's with the Portuguese thing and having 11 names and then we got to choose a name to call you?
Because you take your grandmother's maiden name, then your grandfather's name, then your mother's maiden name, then you just adopt, just as you go down the line, you just take on more and more names, and you have your grandfather's first name as your name. It's the whole thing.
It is the whole thing.
The whole thing.
Yeah,
we need 2 pages on our South African ID books. The Portuguese. Have you ever seen a Portuguese ID book? It's like that. It's like an A5.
It's a thesis. Yeah,
it's an A5.
PhD.
We were made for like little tiny little ID books.
Jeez. Okay. Yeah. So now, but punch in the gut sack as Ronaldo. You're going through this. You thought draw. Okay, we'll take it. But now, look, the incident happens. Right? That's clearly a goal.
But the bigger picture is, I mean, come on. And I've just seen something from FIFA now. World Cup qualifiers, right? Your biggest tournament. And we're not even talking VAR here. We're talking goal line technology.
Yeah.
You do not have in European qualifiers goal line technology.
It's a joke.
That's the problem. That's the problem.
I thought goal line technology was just a thing that was like a thing now.
That's
standard,
it.
Huh?
Exactly.
But it wasn't.
It's not. So it's not even saying, oh, they should have had VAR. It's going, you don't even have goal line technology, the cheapest technology you can put in a football game. You don't even have the goddamn refs standing on the side behind the goals anymore. I mean, come on.
Yeah. No, hey, listen.
Sure.
My thing is this: it's not that outrageous to tell guys that sorry, if you don't have VAR, you can't play in a UEFA sanctioned tournament, which is or like a qualification process, because there are certain stadiums. If it's not big enough in certain leagues, you have to have a minimum capacity to be able to play in the Premier League, for instance, right? So no. If you don't like, I guess that's on Serbia. Sorry, if you don't have VAR or if you don't have goal line technology at the very least, you are not allowed to qualify for the World Cup. Surely that's a thing.
It's not Serbia, it's FIFA. So FIFA wants everyone around the world qualifying for the World Cup to be at the same standard.
Sure.
But if this is the highest quality, if Montserrat and whatever, they need goal line technology. It's like you're a FIFA nation. If you don't have it, you can't enter this competition. It's bizarre. Listen to this. This is FIFA's latest stance on this. Okay, this is their quote. In 2019, UEFA had proposed to FIFA the implementation of VAR in the current World Cup qualifiers. The impact of the pandemic on operational and logistical capabilities led UEFA to delay the implementation of VAR in the Europa League group phase, as well as to withdraw the proposal to implement VAR in the 2022 European qualifiers. Hello, pandemic, you're FIFA. You can put everything together when it fits your pocket. Now pandemic for a little thing that goes deet and a thing in a ball.
Do me a favor.
A few watches.
It's the height of taking the piss now. Like, is that what they're doing now?
That's their statement. Is that so? Their first statement is everyone must be equal. It's like, hello, but this is 2021, your biggest tournament. Okay, and now you're saying pandemic, you can't get a few little watches and chipped balls around Europe.
I know people that got their iPhones in lockdown.
You know what I'm saying?
Hey, I got a new phone which I imported in lockdown. Don't give me that. That is malarkey.
You know, and you start this off by going, I'm the only person who watches international football. This is why nobody watches.
I agree.
Okay? Because you go, firstly, most games are walkovers. You have, of how many 100 they play over a weekend, 2-3 games are actually memorable. There's a talking point. That's why this gets attention, because thank God there's a talking point, you know? And then you go, no fans, so there's no passion, no atmosphere, no vibe. Okay? The players are doing their best. And now we're not even giving you the minimum quality to us.
I miss the fans in football. I really do.
Did you watch any internationals, James?
I watched a couple of the highlights, and even from the highlights, you can see that without the fans, it's just
Georgia, Spain had fans.
What?
We're in Georgia.
In Georgia.
Yeah, that's it.
15,000 fans. And it was so weird. It's so
That's
bizarre.
insane.
Yeah, I love it. And by the way, those Baltic states do it different. So, listen, Georgia, they got their own rules there.
Yeah.
Someone in the YouTube wants to know, where's the video?
Don't worry about it. You don't want to see these faces. No, Jesse Randolph, no video today, no video tomorrow, all audio. But you should still listen and tell everybody this is the greatest sports show in the history of mankind.
Correct.
So if you weren't here at the beginning, just again a reminder: today, tomorrow, no video.
Another thing from Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
Going back to our conversation before we actually got into the sports part of our sports show, someone said, never trust a guy who wears New Balance shoes.
Oh, that's tough.
That seems targeted at me.
No. That's just a general statement.
He's actually wearing New Balance shoes.
Listen, Paulo.
There are literally a handful of people that know that's the situation today. That feels very planted.
You know where that would be amazing? I hope that's your wife. Imagine she sent that in and she...
You know what the really weird thing is?
Is it Barrett's by any chance?
No. The really weird thing is the only person that this person knows is me.
Oh.
Personally.
Who is it?
It's my brother.
So he's in Vietnam, Paulo. There's no way that person could know.
And you're on the show twice a week. That's
Paulo,
bizarre.
you're wearing new... So that's not even someone who's here. But listen, Paulo...
I feel like I've entered my own paradox.
Yeah, that's it. So careful what you wish for, because you might just get a Paulo... Oh, don't wear New Balance shoes, mate. That's going to cost you. That is going to cost you.
I'll just have to go into my cupboard and choose from 100 of my other pairs of sneakers then.
Tristan hit the nail on the head.
Paulo is a bit of a sneakerhead, huh?
Is he really?
Yeah, let's
More
get
than
into
me.
that a little bit. Well, let's get into it. I mean, how many pairs of shoes you got, Paulo? You reckon? And yours are clean as well. You got I see you. Portuguese oaks are into looking good.
Yes.
No.
But the sneaker thing, talk to me about that. Are you like full on sneakerhead? Huh?
I used to be. I got banned. My wife banned me. So I stopped at 30.
30 pairs of shoes.
My count was insane. I'm just saying.
30 pairs of shoes.
I had to stop at 30.
Have you got 30 right now? Do you buy and have to get rid of one?
No, I've got them all. I buy stuff that like lasts. I don't like buy like trendy. What's like if there's like a air bubble spring thing, I like retro, stylish,
Yeah.
long-lasting stuff.
Because you're an 80s guy. A lot of people don't know this, but Paulo Diaz is stuck in the 80s along with, and this is a compliment, by the way, along with Dory van Lagerenberg, one of the most sensational surnames. They host something called The 80s Show, the greatest 80s show podcast, would you say, in the world, Paulo? Arguably.
It is 100% the best 80s show on Cliff Central on a Friday at 11 o'clock.
There we go. It's guaranteed.
No doubt about it.
Nothing,
It is definitely that.
nothing is better as an 80s show at 11 o'clock on Friday on cliffcentral.com live.
That you can take to the bank.
Yeah, take it.
Even if you say so yourself.
Even if I said it's the best 80s show you never heard.
30 pairs of shoes.
Yeah.
You thought mine was bad.
Where do you keep those? How big's your house?
No, I'm having that's part of the reason I had to stop. I've like run out of space.
Oh, I see.
I'm not given extra cupboards or anything like that. It's like I have to contain that into my spaces.
Yeah, and the problem is your baby's quite young. I mean, she's still what?
She's 10. Yeah,
she's 10,
yeah.
so you're not gonna be able to take her for her room for a while.
And she's also picked up the habit. She's also.
Oh
yeah.
man,
That's gonna cost you, buddy.
I started.
Who cleans your shoes?
Me. I tried one. You get those sneaker cleaning services.
Yeah.
I tried, and I was like watching them. I was like, "What are you doing? But why are you doing that? What? But what? No, don't use that. No, why? No, that's got a chemical. What are you doing? Why are you doing that? What? No, just give it. Let me.
Take it home.
Let me go do it. It's fine. Just give your money. I can't watch this.
You've literally blown my mind, dude. 30 pairs of shoes.
Yeah.
How many of them are New Balance? Because someone said in the comments, New Balance shoes are dad shoes.
I've only got one, and these aren't those dad New Balances, and that's the reason it took me so long to go to New Balances.
It's true. It's a lot of color on those ones.
It took me so long because of the reputation.
Yeah, listen, New Balance. One of the best basketball players in the world right now, Kawhi Leonard, is with New Balance. His shoes look like orthopedic shoes.
What does that mean?
I saw Kevin Durant. Only came up the other day. Those crazy ones that had the sock up to his knee, that had the compression tight in the shoe.
Yeah, because of the ankle.
Yeah,
he just came back from the Achilles injury.
Something like that.
No, but it looks ridiculous.
Yeah, it looks like Big Bird from Sesame Street.
Oh, man, so good. All right, 30 pairs of shoes. So heartbreak for Portugal.
No, not yet.
We're going to come back from that?
It's a second game in the qualifiers. We play Luxembourg. Okay, Luxembourg beat, but the rest of the group is Luxembourg, Republic of Ireland, Azerbaijan. Like really with that amount of game time to go, we still got Serbia at home. I mean, if this really comes back as an impact, that's a problem with the team rather than a problem with the technology. Because, I mean, end of the day, blew a 2-goal lead.
Yeah, that's on you.
You shouldn't be in that position.
Yeah, even without was it a goal, wasn't it a goal, you still blew the lead.
At 2-0, you shouldn't be in that position.
Speaking of goals, Paulo, I want to finish off on this. Why can Portugal never find a striker? Like the last time I think of a Portuguese, a number 9, like a guy who's just up top, Gabriel Batistuta, Sergio Aguero vibes. Helder Postiga, I feel like, is the last one where I thought, okay, and even he was...
it was more, Pauleta was probably more...
Yeah, even he was
Pauleta was
lukewarm. I mean, Pauleta wasn't Sergio Aguero because you keep producing Figo and Ronaldo and Bernardo Silva and, Conceição for all of his problems. That technical wide guy who'll do it all. Pedro Neto now, who I love. That guy, you never have a problem producing. That's just like you keep rolling them out. Why can't you just produce
We're visionary, though. We're visionary. Only now. But go back 10 years. Coincided with Portugal's, good run of success, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it's Ronaldo-based, but also, look at the players we produced. Only now you're starting to see, Lewandowski, Harry Kane, Haaland. But before that, everyone was we're playing with inside forwards, those sort of wide players. And you overlay that with Portugal's success, it goes, well, we were
Take a mulligan. Take a mulligan. It's been that tough, yeah.
We were revolutionary, weren't we? Look, that's just the way Portugal plays. It's about the market. And Portugal's very good. Their coaches are very good at identifying what the football trends are going to be and what players they need to develop to sell into Europe. And so they sort of picked up going, oh, look, he has Henry, Ronaldo's a bit of a thing. Let's develop those sorts of players because they noticed the game's changing. The game then wasn't about a number 9. There's a couple of Portuguese number 9s starting to pop up. Dani Motta's one for the under-21s. He's there. There is Paulinho, which is a Sporting player. But, he's sort of back up in Portugal. we don't play that way. So from our youth, Portuguese football just doesn't work for a number 9. So what's the point of developing one? So I think that's more than anything. We just don't. Our football just isn't that way. We just don't play that way. So why develop that sort of player?
It's kind of very similar to how Liverpool used to be. They never had this like out and out striker until they found this chemistry with like Mane, Firmino, and Salah.
Yeah.
Then they
Emil
were-
Heskey at a stage.
But
Yeah,
even that's not a. You look at that. There's no number 9 there.
No, there isn't.
Firmino plays it. But
Yeah,
he's
he
not your
plays the
classical.
role, but it's not the normal number 9, if that makes sense.
No, he's not Batistuta. You know, he's not.
And look at your
Aguero.
number 9s. Harry Kane is like a 9.5, 10.
Yeah. No, but it's that.
Yeah.
I think that might be. Although I still do like when you get a Lewandowski like that.
Yeah,
Could you imagine a Portugal with that type of guy?
He's injured for England's game coming up this week.
No,
Either
really,
tomorrow or tonight. or
I'm
something.
pretty sure our man at Bayern Munich there, Rummenigge, has had a word that you are injured.
He definitely.
Whether you like it or not, you're injured. Yeah, that's what's
think
happening.
so?
Oh yeah. Who cares about Poland against England? Bayern Munich are trying to do a quadruple right now, or maybe even get 5, huh? Because Club World Cup.
Yeah.
Yeah, they don't care about Poland's World Cup ambitions. We pay you 400,000 pounds a week. Excuse me. We'll see you in Bavaria next week.
You tore your hamstring for a week.
Yes.
Yeah, no, that's
Just for a week. Ripped hamstring.
that's what's happening.
Miracle
All right.
recovery.
So Portugal, huh? All right. Don't need a striker, and they better win the World Cup, Paula. Otherwise, I'm telling you, you should change the system.
No, I'm happy with what we have.
Happy with
€1
what-
for. So happy.
Hey, better than Bafana, who are out. I don't want to talk about it. They are wow. It's the I don't even want to talk about it. You're not. Let's move on. Let's move on to something else. Listen, this
2-0.
to Sudan. I mean, not now. Not now. I'm not ready. It's not the time. Let's move on. Let's move on. Norway producing footballers right now. I want to talk about 2 of them. I want to start off in the north of London. Before we get into it, some people in life don't know how to be single. I think I know lots of these types of people where they don't care what kind of relationship they get in. But as long as when this one ends, I'm in another one. I have to be. Like immediately. I can't be single. And I don't know if it's a societal thing, but generally what tends to happen from that, is people get in lots of relationships and then you keep getting dumped and then your self-esteem goes. And here's the problem with self-esteem is when you have low self-esteem, you generally make bad decisions, right? When you go to any situation and you think they settling for you, right? You generally make bad decisions. And bad decisions are letting horrible people hang around you, your relationships are this. Self-esteem is everything, right? And I believe you let people know how you feel about yourself, not in what you say, in what you do. When you got no self-esteem, you don't know how to behave. Listen, Arsenal Football Club now, I've spoken about it before. They've gone from the club, they fumbled that whole situation. They went to Ozil, that's been fumbled. I don't care what you say now. The Aubameyang thing's a disaster. You've paid him again and made him captain, and it's clear now to anybody watching. I'm sorry. Straight off the Ozil, you've gone Aubameyang, and it's a disaster. It is a calamity because is he a baller? Yes. Is he a captain? Not anywhere on this green planet. You are joking. And I tell you what that leads to is when somebody comes along and you've just come out of a horrible relationship and you have no self-esteem and they're half decent to you, you think, oh my goodness, here's Prince Charming, right? It's all relative. Martin Odegaard, folks, he's not the next Brian Laudrup. Like, stop this. 8 games into it, and I'm hearing people saying £40 million, £50 million for Odegaard. Sign him up. Please. What are we doing here? Just because you got dumped by 5 guys before, the 6th guy now who just, I don't know, pushes the trolley in for you at the shopping market is not Prince Charming. Like, hey, have some self-esteem. I don't understand this. First of all, here's my problem. Arsenal's problem is never been the attack. When are Arsenal going to sort this out? Arsenal's problem has never been attack. They've always been in the top 4 goal scorers in the season. And they're always, Aubameyang just won the top goal scorer award. That's not the problem. Right back, centre back, and I don't rate Bernd Leno. Goalkeeper's the problem. And they have not had a defensive midfielder of any clout since Gilberto and Patrick Silva. Patrick Vieira. Some of you don't even know. There are people like James who have no idea at his age. He's 24 years old. He's got no idea who Gilberto Silva is. When I say Gilberto Silva, people have to go Google him. Huh? Who are you talking about? That is the last time Arsenal had Steele. That was 2005. That was 2005. 16 years ago. That's been the problem since then. That is the problem, and that's always been the problem. Secondly, listen.
Isn't that the job that Thomas Partey was supposed to do, though?
He's a box-to-box midfielder. He's
That was
not.
a weird
He's
signing.
not Vieira. He's a weird signing, and we'll finish off.
I'll
on
cut you off. Sorry, but that's a weird sign.
Yeah. Listen, secondly, if Real Madrid don't want him, why would you want him? Self-esteem, again, says, to me, if somebody I know breaks up with somebody, I'm not going near that person. Because there is a reason somebody I know who's a friend of mine left that person. I wouldn't go near them. Because there's a problem, right? Whether it was on their side or their side, I don't want to go near that. I don't want that. If Real Madrid don't want Odegaard, why do Arsenal want to settle for him? I don't understand that thinking. Do you know what it tells me? Is Arsenal think we're happy with scraps. And we've seen that over the last 15 years. That's what they do. That's what they've been doing. That's what Arsenal are happy to do. And you keep telling me about believe in the process. Folks, number one, I said to you, Arsenal's attack is not the problem. But if you keep taking scraps, right? And, in Afrikaans, and I guess if we have global viewers, we'll have to translate this. In Afrikaans, they say, dierkoop is goedkoop. That means, basically, let me translate it to English, you get what you pay for. And if you're paying for something off the scrap heap, I'm sorry, Odegaard, for all the hype, get off the hype, right? Get off the hype, get off the talent thing. Is what's he really done? 8 games. There's no ways you can know. There is no ways. You don't marry somebody, by the way, when you meet them on holiday. That's insanity. It is silly and it's pathetic. For me, you can't do it again. Listen, again, the bad decisions thing. You came Ozil, right? Let's start on Kleb, Ozil, Aubameyang. 3 horrible decisions in a row, and now you want to do this on a gamble, and it's £50 million, and then you keep telling me Arsenal have no money. That is absolutely asinine. Folks, Arsenal have no self-confidence. That's the reason why they're doing this, is they are latching onto absolutely anything that comes their way. Odegaard looks half decent. Oh my goodness gracious. Sign him. So we've never seen it before. When you have no self-confidence and you have no plan in life, this is what happens. You will take anything that looks shiny. Don't confuse talent and value. I'm sorry. If I'm Arsenal and I'm moving on, there is absolutely no justification for dropping 40, 50 million pounds on a position that is at least, I would say, 3rd or 4th as your problem. And you got Emile Smith-Rowe coming through. So do me a favor. It is ridiculous. Arsenal, get some self-confidence. Learn to be single while you get it together. Thoughts, Paulo?
Well, I want to throw it over to James. James, do you know who was the last player Arsenal bought from Real Madrid?
Oh, good question.
Currently playing. It's a recent player. Just I think just to highlight Mbulelo's point to a degree.
I was going to say Ozil, but that was very long ago.
Danny Ceballos.
Oh, does he play for Arsenal?
Exactly.
Wow.
Exactly. So it's like, don't you guys, they see you coming, guys. Yeah.
It's unbelievable.
Like a freight train, guys.
It's unbelievable to me, Paulo. I just have some confidence. Why would Real Madrid let Odegaard go if he was really the guy?
I think, I mean, I understand what you're saying, but Arsenal, unfortunately, also got themselves to a point where they have to go buy Real Madrid offshoots. There was a stage where Real Madrid were begging for Arsenal players and sniffing around them constantly, and players were choosing Arsenal over Real Madrid. So how did Arsenal get to that point rather than that? I think Odegaard, same Joao Felix sort of situation. I think the difference is we saw Odegaard have a fantastic season in Spain last year. I mean, he was outstanding. And the reason that Real Sociedad Real Sociedad last year. Yeah. The reason he was where he was, they ended up where they were. But I mean, Arsenal's challenges are deeper than that, deeper than just one Odegaard. And if you got that money to spend, you're 100% right. Spending it in the wrong place, because Granit Xhaka is not Gilberto Silva, Thomas Partey, weird signing, and
I agree.
Danny Ceballos. That's my one phrase.
You've said Partey. It's another thing where, Paulo, I always say, when something's available, I like to know
there was
how
no
many people
fight
are
for him. There was no fight.
That's really important to me, because I know the football world. Everybody knows if you're the real deal, Generally, all the big clubs know. There was not a single, no Man United, no Chelsea, no Bayern Munich around Partey. There's a reason for that. I know people will say Arsenal did. There's a reason for that, right? There's no value in Partey because they knew something. I don't know if it was the injury.
Yeah.
There's some stuff that may reveal itself later. I don't know what it was. And maybe the scouts go, nah, that ain't going to work.
Yeah.
And you know what it is for me? And Arsenal are caught in this trap, and you made a great point, is they've got themselves here, I've always believed this. Don't put a smart kid in a dumber class. That doesn't make him smarter. Like Partey looks now like Vieira. No, that's because he's playing next to Granit Xhaka and the team's 10th. So of course he's going to look like...
It's also very lazy because like he physically resembles Vieira, so he's got to be Patrick Vieira. It's just I think there's such a laziness to people.
It's called wishful thinking.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
So for me, the Odegaard thing, it's asinine. I mean, let's start off. I sit here right back, all right? Bellerin and Cedric, I like Cedric, but he's Portugal's 4th right back option.
Yeah, exactly. And he's not getting younger, you know?
We're talking about Arsenal Football Club, and you're talking about having Portugal's 4th right back as your backup or as your starter.
And Bellerin's on his way out.
And as a shambles.
He's either Barcelona or PSG. I mean, he's out this season.
So, I mean, that's where we're talking. Do you know what I didn't love either from Arsenal? I've always said, injured young is injured old. Kieran Tierney, as much as I love that guy, I like everything he embodies, but he had 2 massive injuries at Celtic. That's why he only cost 25 million. Arsenal, what are you doing? Because, again, what's happened at Arsenal now? He's had 2 massive injuries already. He's 23 now. Folks, I've seen this before. Alexander Pato, I've seen the young kids. When you get injured, especially when it's massive injuries young, sorry, this ain't getting any better. And they're talking about making Tierney club captain. I mean, what Arsenal... They are done. I'm sorry. If they get Odegaard for £50 million, it's over.
Tony Adams, Patrick Vieira, Thierry Henry, Kieran Tierney, Aubameyang in between.
Yeah.
He of the late getting his Ferrari stuck in traffic jam. Aubameyang.
Yeah.
Yo,
Take that, sports lovers.
I love smashing Arsenal because of like I feel like how Liverpool fans must feel talking about United.
Yeah.
You know, that's what I like. I definitely like putting the
Just
boot in
ribbing him a bit. Huh?
Arsenal.
But for me, it is getting to a scary place now where, you know, once you make 4 or 5 bad decisions in a row, that's what you are now. Like 1 bad decision, yeah, you know what? We all make mistakes. Nobody's perfect. 2 bad decisions, like we all have blind spots. 3 bad decisions.
And it's by committee. You know, Arsenal, you know, teams and Arsenal, one of them, they do transfers by committee. So for a room full of people to go, okay, this is the best we can do right now, it's a worrying trend.
And it's over like 10 years. So are Arsenal just mid-table now, dude? Like, that's what they are, hey? They've got to swallow that for the next 5 years. They are between 6th and 10th.
I think they've been replaced by Everton, if I'm honest.
What, immediately now?
No, I just feel like over the last sort of maybe 2 or 3 years or so, I think Everton's become like the new Arsenal.
And the potential for Everton is huge because they got the new stadium coming up. So,
They've also built a relatively strong squad.
but Ancelotti's not going to last though.
No,
You don't think so?
No, I mean that's another 2 years tops, and then I'm sure he's done.
Do you think it's his fault or the owners are? I mean, it's Usmanov coming into with the other guy. What's the other bloke's name? I think he's a Thai guy as well.
Into Everton.
Yeah. Because Usmanov's mates with the Everton guy. Remember, he left Arsenal because they wouldn't let him buy.
Oh, is he coming in? Because
Yeah, he's
Everton's the NFL, got the NFL owner, isn't it? Or is he Fulham?
No, he's Fulham.
He's
You're
Fulham,
talking about Khan.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Khan, he owns the Jaguars.
Yes.
Yeah, Jaguares, if you're Spanish. Yeah.
Tigres.
Yeah. So, he's money bags. I mean, you've seen what Everton are doing. So, James, that's a good point. So, you think Everton have replaced the Gooners, huh? I think they've got bigger problems.
I think, look, when teams are playing football on the weekend and I'm looking at the fixtures, over the past, like I said, 2 or 3 years or so, I've become less weary of Arsenal and more weary of Everton. I don't know if it's a Liverpool Merseyside thing but like when I see, Tottenham's up against Arsenal, I'm like, easy win for Tottenham kind of thing.
Yeah.
When I see Tottenham versus Everton, I'm like, that's a clash.
Yeah.
It's actually a big game. So I don't know. I don't know.
No,
That's just the way I see it.
Because Arsenal is like, you know what you're going to get almost.
Exactly.
And when it works, they're going to blow you away.
Yeah.
But it may not. Where Everton can mix it up so much.
Completely.
They can go toe-to-toe with you. They can play around you. Also, the mood takes, but I mean, they got to get there.
I
It's
mean,
not a bad
well
shot.
at Everton though.
Yeah, I'm hot and cold on James Rodriguez, to be honest with you.
He's hot and cold on himself.
Yeah, I'm not. I don't love him. I don't like the play with injuries. Like, get on with it in the Premier League. When we pay you that much money, get on. Like, do people think Cristiano Ronaldo is always in like perfect shape?
Yeah,
You know,
it's that whole accusation they put on Daniel Sturridge. It was like, unless he was 100% fit, he wouldn't play.
And you know when I can accept that? When you're Arjen Robben. Like,
Yeah.
Okay, I get it. Because when you're at 100%, then oh my God, Daniel Sturridge, get the hell out of town.
And it's when you're managing one very specific injury.
Yeah.
You know, and then you can accommodate because it's one very specific thing that you've got to play with. When it's everyone's got a bump and like a broken toe and constantly.
Can we speak about that for a quick second? Sorry, the Daniel Sturridge thing.
Sure.
Daniel Sturridge would always go away on international duty
Mm-hmm.
to England.
Whether it's called up or not, you just go.
Exactly. He would go.
Yeah.
And then he would always, without fail, every single time, return with an injury.
That's true.
Does anybody else have some perspective on this? Because I am confused as to how this constant. Every time there was an international break and he played for Liverpool, I was like, he's coming back with a broken
Something.
fibia. I don't know.
Do you know what that is, James? I think you just said that.
A leg bone
Okay.
or an arm bone, one of the two. Tibia,
No, it
fibia.
is definitely a fibia and a tibia because I broke both.
Yeah.
So,
So is it a
I'll show you
leg?
the exit. It's your leg.
There you go. Nailed it. But yes, does anybody else?
I'm starting to buy into this after thing though.
There's nothing to buy.
I got it
gave
right.
I
I
gave
said
a benefit of the
leg.
doubt. It took a while though.
Yeah. I know what I know. After kids, hey, high on effort, not so much on brains. But go ahead.
But I mean, is it an after thing or a James thing?
It's probably a James thing.
Well, listen. We'll see as we go. We'll do
Part
more
of my
empirical
charm
research.
is me being really stupid.
Part of your charm.
Well,
To who?
Then you're Prince
Not
Charming.
just in general.
Yeah.
And you goddamn Richard Gere.
I set myself up. for
You
these
really
things.
did.
I did.
I will not feel bad for 1 second about that.
Man, he's Richard Gere. Huh? God, that is good stuff. We'll take a quick comment here and then we'll move on. But the Gunners are doomed. I mean, and this Odegaard thing it really sat with me the wrong way. All right, Jesse Randolph says, I agree. Odegaard. By the way, Jesse Randolph, massive Arsenal guy. He says, I agree. Odegaard is great, but people are comparing him to Bruno Fernandes. Who is doing that? Get away from those people and have them arrested. It is asinine.
I think Martin Odegaard, since he was signed at the age of, I think, 15 by Real, I think it's been just that. He was
Yeah.
media hype. Real pitched him as this next wonder kid. And he didn't live up to it because he wasn't going to be this next wonder kid. Maybe he's a good player, but he's not the next, Thierry Henry or...
I mean, you're exactly right. I mean, that is exactly the finger on the button because he's a FIFA player. He's a FIFA football player.
Oh, no, that was the wrong button. I meant to push the clapping one because that was good.
See, finger on the button.
After, yeah.
James.
Oh, James.
Thank you. I appreciate the production value to bring to the show.
That's what he's been.
So the he's a FIFA EA Sports player.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's like because kids can identify. Oh, he's the same age as me. He's playing. He's training with the Norwegian national team, and he signed for Real Madrid. And that's exactly it. It's like he was. What was Freddie Adu? It's the Freddie Aduism.
Oh, yes.
And it's sort of like similar to that, and probably like overhyped the poor kid, way
And he
above
didn't-
his station.
He didn't live up to the potential that he was never going to live up to anyway.
Because
Yeah.
he can go on and have a decent Sergio Canales type career, and Mbolela will remember this.
Oh, yeah.
Another wonder kid, also.
Real Madrid.
Real Madrid signed him, supposed to be the next big thing. He's gone on and had like a decent career. He played top flight Spain, had a couple of appearances for Spain, but Freddie Adu will go be Odegaard will go on and be a perfectly serviceable 60, 70 odd cap player, 100 odd appearances for his clubs, goals. But because he wasn't what he's supposed to be when he was 15, he'll never be. Great point, James.
Surprisingly great
That's
point.
actually
Brains,
Yeah.
son.
No, listen, and I want to finish off on to amplify your great point. Let's look at the two phenomenons of our time. The template's already there. Is if somebody's going to be the guy, not a guy, there's two of them right now, Messi and Ronaldo, right? is the template is this. It's there for everyone to see. Ronaldo, what happened? Sporting, Man United, and what did United do for a season and a half? You wrap him up in cotton wool, you put him around Ferdinand, you put him around. This is how to be the guy. By the way, and you can't infuse that into anybody, even if it's Ronaldo and he's obsessed. Is you put him around Rio Ferdinand, Vidic, Evra. They're on time every day. There's a certain way they treat their bodies. Also, when you're talking about a Rio Ferdinand, this is what happens when you are the brand. Because a lot of people, I think, leave that out. You know, with Odegaard, is that expectation doesn't just come with the footballing expectation if you're the guy. It comes with you're on every billboard. Now everybody wants your time. Now you can't go for a massage because you have to do an advert. All of that stuff. Ronaldo was wrapped in cotton wool. Fergie said, this is how you do the football side. Without this, there is none of that. You know, so with some of these other kids, and Leo Messi the very same. He came into that sort of Rijkaard time. They let him in. Xavi's already there. Iniesta's already there. Here's how to be a Catalan legend. Here's how you carry yourself with the public. You know.
But strangely enough, with Messi, is that he didn't gravitate towards Xavi and Iniesta. He gravitated towards Ronaldinho and Deco, who were in nightclubs every day. So that's why they binned those two.
Yeah, so they're leading him astray, huh?
Yeah.
And there you have it, right? There's the football club saying, this is how to be a man. Real Madrid have never cared.
They'll never do that, no.
Robinho, even go to all of them. I mean, even their own kids, they don't care about.
Real Madrid, you have to come 100% ready-made on every level because they will not nurture you through it.
Look at Asensio.
Yeah.
He's one of their own.
Exactly.
Get the hell out of here.
No time. No time, no patience. Regulon, same thing. No time, no patience.
Nailed it. Hey, the Arsenal. I feel for you. All right, let's move on to another Norwegian. Or should we take some questions? Do we have anything on social media there, James? That we missed out on.
We do have one. Maybe we could save this for the end of the show because I would actually love to hear this. I would actually love to hear your guys' thoughts on the core issues with, and bear with me, Bafana.
Oh.
Where are they going wrong? How deep is the rot, and how can it be fixed?
I'm not sure if there's enough shows left. There's not enough space on YouTube.
Ever on our lifetime.
Yeah.
So I'm actually glad they came in because we had the conversation earlier on if we do include it, and you guys did leave open a gap for me to actually include it.
Yeah.
And I read the room and I thought, okay, maybe let's just divert it. But if that's what the people want to hear, that's what the people are going to hear.
Hey, give the people what they want.
So I definitely think we should cover that off. Unless we want to do it now.
Yeah, let's get into it. Why not? Bafuna, hey?
So let me start off this, right? And I'm by no means a football sage, okay? And I've uncovered a lot, and Bulelo and I are working on an interesting project aside from this about SA football and how we end up. Now, when South Africa, this is why I feel like I have this feeling, this protectiveness over Bafana that I shouldn't have, that I think a lot of my generation has, is that South Africa was emerging as this football force as my interest and passion and knowledge of football was happening at the same time. So we're talking like we're back into FIFA in 92, first round of qualifying 94, and we win the AFCON 96. So I'm 12, 14, 16 at that age, right? So this is where your football is like into hyperdrive. That's all you care about in your life is football. And at the time, so now South Africa is emerging. We've got like a really strong group of players. Seemingly the logistical side of it seemed right. We go on, we win the AFCON, we step into the AFCON as a last-minute host because we have the capacity to do that. Another thing to go that, we are a country that can handle this. In hindsight, remember, we won that AFCON without the Super Eagles, who were the absolute Super Eagles, and you can only beat what's in front of you.
Yeah.
But, I mean, this was the 94 Nigeria team that did so well in the USA. They pulled out the AFCON. They went and did so well in 98 World Cup.
Great.
They won the Olympics in 96.
Great. Yeah, that was Rashidi Yekini, Okocha.
And they beat like a strong Brazil on the way. I think Rivaldo was in that Brazil team.
Yeah.
So this was like a legit Nigeria side, but they weren't there, not our fault. We can only beat what's there. And I think there was an assumption in South Africa, oh my God, international football's so easy. Like and the world's expectation was like, this is it. This is Brazil of Africa going to play beautiful football. Look at the infrastructure. They're going to dominate. Like this is just top 5, top 10 teams in the world. No question. And we believed in that. and the money started coming in, and there were glamour friendlies, and teams were knocking down our door to come play against us. And we go to 98 World Cup, I think spurred by the same team. 2002 World Cup is a bit of a generational switchover, you know, Quinton Fortune's in the side, and we start seeing that, but sort of the last throws of that 96 side. And then, as we all know, follow the money. Where's the money going? Obviously, we made money out of those. Where did it go? We're supposed to get the World Cup in 2006. We know that story, but there's money there. 2010, where's the money? To ends up in a situation where we're in like this, and like I'm heartbroken. It's like easy to call them buffoon. I get all that. It's funny, but it's heartbreaking to go. Here's a team. Now, you got to understand, right? Here's white kids in like emerging apartheid South Africa, new South Africa, putting posters of black men up on your wall. Okay? And we're not talking Ian Wright and Paul Ince. That's, okay, they're not South African. You're putting up black dudes, posters on your walls.
Yeah, Phil Masinga.
You're as kids going to school pretending you're Phil Masinga, Lucas Radebi. Like, that's mad. Like, that's mad, right?
Absolutely.
So you go, wow, that team, this is what that team did. And now you're going, it's not even the same game what's happening now. And I'll tell you one thing that I looked at, right? There was a photo of the team in the hotel before the match. I think it was Saturday. Firstly, I didn't know, there were 6 players standing, team photo. Firstly, I didn't know one of those players. Not one. I couldn't, and I like to think I know football. I sort of know. I don't watch PSL, but I know players, right? I didn't recognize one. Second thing that strikes me, these guys, if one of them weighed 70 kilograms, and then you go, there's another problem there. These are not football players anymore. You cannot play football. And it's not, I think, like the Lamasiification of football showed us that footballers can be smaller and don't have to be. You just need to have power now, because pressing needs power.
Yeah.
Okay, you're not a giant to press. So it's going like these things of going, this absolute breakdown of what our football was, like a total breakdown on every level. And now you just look, okay, what are the fundamentals to get us back? And you got these guys who don't even look like they've had a good meal in a week, like trying to play football.
No,
it's mind-blowing. And there's no fix.
You know what?
There's no fix.
I think you've covered it so well. But my thing is we've kind of seen it happening gradually, right? For me, one thing that, you know, and it goes to the next topic we'll do, is talent has to be managed. There's this idea in life, and I don't know if it's a Hollywood thing that's imposed on our society. Talent has to be managed. And the problem, I believe, is it's the same in South African cricket and South African rugby, is that when you have more players than good administrators, I don't care where you are in the world, right? This idea, and I know we live in a new time where young people say, old people know nothing and we're doing it our way. Just shut up. There's rules, right? Everything has rules. You want to be a YouTube creator, there's business rules you go by, right? And who's running Amazon? Bezos, he's 50, right? Elon Musk, he's 50. Like that, those people know the rules. There are ways to run businesses. Number one, the talent's not the problem in South Africa. But we have 0 administrators. There is nobody who's telling me, what are we? I'd rather be a mess, but at least know, okay, in the next 10 years, we want to be X.
And how many countries haven't done that? How many countries, like a big story, Luxembourg, you know, go beat Ireland, and there's a nice side there because they went, you know what, 10 years ago we're 200 odd in the world. Here's our plan. And we'll be a mess for a long time. And then suddenly we won't be a mess.
What are we? There's no administration. Germany came out about, was it 15, 20 years ago, where they said, all right, you want to manage in the Bundesliga, everybody plays 3-5-2, 3-4-3. That became non-negotiable. So no matter where you were, in the top 2 divisions, I believe it was, Paulo, you can correct me, but you play, I think it was 3-4-3 or 3-5-2, one of the systems, or 4-3-3, whatever it is.
It's definitely your younger teams.
Yeah.
Definitely the youth teams have to all play that way.
It's non-negotiable to play that formation because Die Mannschaft are essentially the target here. That's what we're building for. Okay, there's a plan. So German football is about making the national football team standardized, brilliant. And if there's young German guys, they know how to play. We can slot them in right back, left back, doesn't matter. You know what we're doing at the top level. There's a clear plan. And they came out and told everybody. Belgium, about 20 years ago, same thing. They told everybody in the league, here's what's happening, here are the targets. And they put it out in public. It wasn't like a secret or here's the plan. So South Africa, for me, in and amongst a gajillion other problems, I'm sorry, talent has to be managed. and we have no football administrators, and that makes me so sad.
No,
No, it's a mess.
because there are so many good people, and like I hinted at the project we're working on, Bolelo, and there are people that are working on this project that are so passionate, would do it for free, would 100% do it for free. Just go away. We don't want to talk to you.
So there you have. I mean, Bafana Bafana, it's actually a spiritual sort of sadness, and I can hear it in your voice, Paolo. I hope people can hear it in my voice. It's
heartbreaking. It is heartbreaking.
for me to say I don't watch PSL, people think it's like because I'm generally a pretty sanctimonious dude anyway. People think I take pride in that. It breaks my heart that I say I don't watch PSL.
100%.
It breaks my heart that, honestly, outside of Orlando Pirates Chiefs results, I have no clue what's happening in the PSL. Because, sorry, now you're competing with the NFL, the NBA, Netflix. I've got other stuff to do. Like, if your product's not good, I've got other stuff to do. And my rule is this. I never, it's why I don't play indoor football anymore. I say
because you were too good.
I am too good.
He was too good.
And
The total package.
That's
humble
one.
and amazingly good.
Too humble. I'm too humble.
Sorry,
it's a weakness. Yeah.
Too humble.
No, but I don't watch PSL because I said to somebody who's a coach in the PSL right now, I could play in the PSL if you allowed me to get fit right now. I said that to him. He asked me why I don't watch. I said I could play in that league.
That's it. And when you watch a player and you go, I think at fitness I'm better than him. I could do a better job than that. I'm not watching that, dude. I'm sorry.
Sorry, there's a reason why it must be elite. And I know, because and a lot of, not a lot, people from my era that kind of knew me, we were all with Macabre, right? Mike Macabre, they knew I could play. When I say it now, nobody's going to tell me anything because I can tell you I've been to Tottenham, I've been to Watford, I've played with people, I played with Tom Huddleston, I know how to play this game. Don't tell me I'm going to watch that crap. You're not going to tell me anything about playing football.
Good thing the cameras aren't on, right?
You're not going to tell me that.
He is passionate.
People know they can't come and tell me shit. And we shouldn't really swear on the podcast.
but
luckily, we're not going to TV.
I think
Nobody's
that's
going
the
to tell
point,
me
dude.
about football. I grew up in this thing. I was at the School of Excellence. I went to the Danone Cup. I've played this thing. You're not going to tell me anything about playing football. When I see it, I know it.
Yeah.
I could play PSL easily. I'm telling you,
That was
Paulo,
incredible.
give me 6 months. I could play PSL now, and I'm 30. I'm about to turn 35 in a month.
No, and that's the thing. And I think, listen, we could go on forever about this and it'd just be deeply negative. And there's the negativity, but it is heartbreaking.
Well said.
Heartbreaking.
Well said.
Do you know what makes it more heartbreaking is knowing that our highest rank in the world rankings is 19.
Ever.
Ever.
You know,
Ever. Our
And
highest
when
rank.
was that?
We were 16th at a stage.
Yeah.
We were higher than that.
And when was that? That would have been what? 98, 99,
90,
2000?
96.
Yeah, makes sense.
Is that the highest?
Yeah, there's a whole graph here and everything.
Okay.
Remember we had David Nyati at left back. He made the World 11.
Yeah, remember that.
Yeah.
You know, and this week is, or this year is the 25th anniversary of the AFCON win. And on Saturday, I saw something on Super Sport where they had Mark Williams, Tovey, Doctor, and Eric Tinkler. And Eric Tinkler made the point. He said, at that time, we all went away. Eric Tinkler was in Italy. Phil Masinga was in Italy. Mark Fish was in Italy. And they're going like, and Italy was Premier League now, you know.
Oh, God. In the
You
90s,
know,
for you youngsters who don't know.
I mean, every big name was there. And they're saying we were there. And we weren't just bench warmers. We were first teamers.
At Lazio, Mark Fish.
You know, in mid-table teams, granted. But, you know, first teamers in mid-table teams. What are we doing now? Our best import is sitting bench at Brighton.
Well, there's actually 3
Excellent.
South Africans in the Premier League currently,
Okay.
which is pretty impressive.
There's one at Leicester.
Yeah.
And then the other one's at
Percy Towers at Brighton.
I screenshotted it for this exact moment on the show. Guys.
But now you're like a goldfish.
Yeah, but that's exactly the point.
Yeah, like why do we have to Google?
We can right now name.
Quinton Fortune was at Man United. Like
know-
I didn't have to Google that. Eric Tinkler at Charlton. Like I
We can just name it.
you-
It's
you
just
know-
there.
And by the way, I want to tell you how much let's round it up on this. You're talking about those.
Eric Tinkler was at Barnsley.
Oh, it was a Barnsley,
Sean
not
Bartels was
Charlton.
Charlton.
Sorry. Yeah. To your point though is how much these guys were cult heroes. I went to Bari in Italy
Yeah,
because
yeah,
of Phil Masinga.
Yeah.
And I'm talking about in the late noughties, by the way. I'm not talking about then when he was playing. I went to Bari because one of my heroes, Bari. Like we were in Italy. It's like, what should we do? Bari. I've never, you know. By the way, Father Christmas from Saint from Bari. If you want to go and look, there's an awesome museum there. For those who'd like to know the history of Father Christmas, side story. I went to Bari because Phil Masinga was an absolute beast of a man.
And I mean, on Lucas Radebe at the time,
Oh.
right? Like, James, I got to tell you, and maybe it's an oversimplification, and football is different. Lucas Radebe was Van Dijk. The way he moved and controlled the game, and the football is different. The players weren't as fit and as strong even then. But like when you watch Van Dijk, that's what Lucas Radebe. That's why people are so enamored with Lucas Radebe. He was that good.
There's a band that exists now from Leeds, literally called Kaiser Chiefs, who've gone on to dominate the indie industry because of him. They are named because Lucas Radebe's presence. There are the Kaiser Chiefs brand. There's shoes and clothing label in Leeds because of this man. You go to Yorkshire, Lucas Radebe, they called him, is the biggest thing there still today. And they had James Milner, who's a guy. So please, man, breaks my heart, gut wrenching.
I met him once.
James Milner or Lucas Radebe?
Lucas Radebe.
Oh, okay.
In Durban.
What were you doing?
My mom was working for a cycling thing they were doing between I think it was Pietermaritzburg and Durban.
Oh yeah.
And they had these celebrities join in on the whole thing, and Jean de Villiers was there, John Smith, Lucas Radebe was there.
Did you embarrass yourself and you didn't know who he was?
I know. Outside of this conversation, I know who Lucas Radebe is.
Oh, okay.
He's a gent though. He's regal.
Yeah,
he's like
regal.
Idris Elba.
Yeah.
And Morgan Freeman had a child.
I just didn't know that he was like Van Dijk level though.
Oh yeah, he was the best man marker in the world. They were saying in some papers.
Am I over the top?
Not at all.
He really is.
Not at
really
all.
like that's what that's what he was like.
In the Premier League, he was respected as a man marker, as one of the best. Like that's not us being biased South Africans, but my heart can only be broken so much. I refuse to keep talking about this.
And maybe as the final point, I think you just have to track the evolution, okay? Since we are talking about brands like New Balance or whatever, track the evolution, okay? We had Kappa, we wore Adidas, we wore Nike, we wore Puma, and now we're wearing Le Coq Sportif.
By the way,
that's not a sport brand, that's a football brand, my friends. Great brand. Your football team should not be wearing that.
Should I tell you actually what happened with that? I have I can say it, a source very inside the team.
It's a great brand.
No, by the way, the kit didn't pitch. I just want to tell you this. The coaches were wearing old kits. If you watched 2 games ago, they patched over the old sponsorship because they were wearing old shirts. I had, I guess I can't say it, but somebody who was at the match texting me at the match some of the stuff that didn't happen. Their kit didn't pitch. They were wearing clear kit because the sponsors kit didn't pitch. So I just want to let you know where we are as South Africa's the biggest football market at a stage. I think it was the 8th biggest revenue league in the world.
Yeah.
In Africa, don't have a kit sponsor that can deliver a kit to the players on time.
And no one noticed because our games are never on TV.
There we go.
Wow.
So again, you said it would get ugly, huh?
Case closed. Let's move on. Play some music. Let's get out of here. I'm so sad.
You see, James, this is what happens. Look now, you made us sad. This is meant to be a positive show.
Can I make you feel better?
I doubt it.
I can.
Yeah, go ahead.
My mom
Mumsy.
My momsy was invited to Lucas Radebe's wedding.
How does that make me feel better? That makes you feel better.
That's name dropping. That's cool.
Why is that cool for me?
That's just a cool thing.
Unbelievable.
That's incredible.
I feel exactly the same as I felt just now. So what? Actually, you made me feel worse because your mom got an honor that I didn't get. So if anything, it's worse for me. Like I'm a loser compared to your mom, is what you've told me.
Paula, did it at least make you feel like, wow, that's really cool?
This is so awkward. It's like when mom and dad start fighting at the dinner table and you're like supposed to act like
Two
everything's
sides.
okay. Like, oh God, I'm just eating my beans. Please just make this go away. Just make this stop.
This is what the show will do. It'll peel back layers. It'll peel back layers. All right.
An onion.
Like an onion, James. All right, let's move on. The second Norwegian I want to talk about because it's all happening in football now. James, give us some music then. His name is Erling Braut Haaland. He's the biggest thing going right now. Listen, for young people, it's so difficult in life to go to the right place. You know, one of the greatest things that I've ever heard was chase leadership, not money. Because when you chase leadership, great leadership, it's impossible to find, by the way. It's very, very rare. As great as impossible and rare to find in general. But the thing about great leadership is they generally doing great projects, right? So you don't have to worry about the money because the money is going to be around great leadership anyway. So don't chase the money. You chase money, the leadership may be crap, and that project's over in 5 years, your CV is a mess. Erling Haaland has a choice right now. He's the guy. And I've just said, talent has to be managed. He also needs to be taught to be, because he's got a massive personality. I've seen this before. His name was Robinho. If you're young, like James and the rest of the people around the world who look at us funny, is that Robinho had the chance to be the biggest superstar in football. He went to Real Madrid. Los Galacticos was essentially the player of the season at 20. They loved him. He brought the X Factor. The next season he was at Manchester City, and you know the rest. So I believe you need guidance as a youngster, and I can make many other examples. But Erling Haaland, I think here are his best 5 options. And by the way, I've put them in order. I think this is where he should go. At number 5, I think, listen, PSG, I think the league, here's the negative. The league's awful, right? It is a terrible, terrible league. He goes there, though. Mbappe, Neymar, Haaland, big 3. They can do things. They can go and destroy Europe should they last together. And I think, look, if he's there, he can focus just on the Champions League. And that's nice for him because he's had 1 or 2 injuries already as well. And I do worry about that. But he's a beast and maybe he can make himself a Champions League legend. At number 4, the negative. Currently, I've always said, no matter how talented you are in life, you cannot overcome institutional chaos. United's a mess right now. It's a chaotic club. That's the negative. The positive is at Man United, he goes there, he starts immediately. Anthony Martial, I'm sorry, he couldn't finish his fish supper and is not fit to wear the United number 9. Mbappe or Haaland gets in there, starts immediately. And the other point is this. United will build the team around him. He would be the only guy, certified, bona fide. Keep the Paul Pogba thing out. Pogba is not a superstar. He's talented, but he's not valuable. I think he'd go there. Haaland, he becomes the guy immediately. They build the team around him. At number 3, Chelsea. I think here's the negative, is that the manager has, in life we are who we are. The manager at Chelsea right now, what's his thing? He will clash with egos. He is not scared. And Haaland, clearly, you've seen his interviews. You either love him or you hate him. That ego is going to be brought right down because Tuchel doesn't look like he's here to muck about. That's the negative. The positive, you got Timo Werner, you got Ziyech, who are starting to come on. I mean, that's pace, power, technique. Ziyech finds you, and Haaland's movement and finishing, we've seen what it is. That's the positive. And it comes to Chelsea, you know what? He comes there, he starts to be seen as the savior. Because right now, Chelsea are like, we're so close. And he comes and gets 28 goals in the league. Chelsea go to the title. He's seen as the savior. I mean, really, the billing writes itself, right? His second best option, it's Manchester City. I think it's his big problem here, and we've seen it with this guy, and I think we're seeing it with Aguero now, is that the manager does not, unlike Tuchel, who will clash with egos, this manager, Pep Guardiola, does not tolerate egos. He let go of Samuel Eto'o and Zlatan Ibrahimovic at their peak. He does not care. You buy in or you get the hell out. He's not interested. So that'll be a downside. The other downside, I still believe, and I'll die on this hill. I think Gabriel Jesus is the second best striker in the Premier League going currently. When Aguero's firing, he's the guy. I think Gabriel Jesus' movement, touch, first touch, it's everything I criticize Tammy Abraham for not having. Gabriel Jesus brings other people into the game. Now, the goals can be a problem, but he's young. He'll figure that part out. I love Gabby Jesus, the movement, the intelligence. He plays like a 28-year-old. He's a part of that system, and it's tough at City. It is demanding because you got to get touches on the ball. You can't just stay up front, and you got to go side to side. I think that'll be a problem for Haaland. I don't think he just gets straight in because Pep's game, what was the problem with Zlatan? Zlatan in his book says, he asked me to run side to side. No way. Haaland's a monster. He doesn't want to be running side to side. He wants to operate between the 18-yard area. And Pep Guardiola, no thank you. The positive. You got it's Bernardo Silva and Mahrez passing you the ball. Are you kidding me? With his movement, finishing, size, especially in the Premier League. Oh, my God. The other one. Talent has to be managed. He's got the best manager on the planet. Who wouldn't want that? So for me, Man City is second best destination. At number 1, it's Real Madrid. Listen, do you know why it's Real Madrid? Go to Real Madrid. You go to Real Madrid. That is the only reason. I don't need negatives. I don't need the positives. Folks, there are anomalies in life. And I know I've said the rule is chase leadership, not talent. You don't chase the light. Go to Real Madrid. That opportunity doesn't come around again because if Vinicius pays off, he becomes the guy. In 5 years, you might say, I want to be there. Forget it. Go to Real Madrid. The reason you go to Real Madrid It's Real Madrid. I'm done. His fifth best option, PSG. 4 United, 3 Chelsea, 2 City. There should be no competition. Now, I know the agent is a problem. There should be no competition. For goodness sake, just go to Real Madrid. You're the guy. You're brilliant. You're a wunderkind. There is no club like Real Madrid. You go there. Mark Hughes, the great Mark Hughes, said he felt like he left Barcelona too early. He went over. It didn't quite work out early on. And he said, I left too early. I didn't try hard enough. I didn't bite down. Trust me, Gareth Bale's going to regret it. When he's done at his apex peak, he chose golf. He's going to regret that. Real Madrid doesn't come around, folks. You don't get a Rolls Royce. You don't get to marry Lindsey Vonn, who I absolutely love. Scarlett Johansson if she comes into your life. Megan Good if they come into your life. You're not going to get a second shot at that. Real Madrid is it. There is no other Real Madrid. Go to Real Madrid. And for all of the problems, right? In life, it's production tolerance, right? What sort of production would Real Madrid have for his life? It'll be through the roof. He'd have to tolerate a mess. But my God, it's Real Madrid. And that's it. That's my thoughts. PSG at 5, Man United 4, Chelsea 3. At number 2, I think Man City would be an awesome place. But Real Madrid's the place. Just go to Real Madrid. And he's the guy, right? Paulo, I mean, right now, I like Mbappe. I love Haaland. And what I like about Haaland is I think he wants that pressure. He wants it. It's almost like that fuels him. I'm not sure with Mbappe.
That's an interesting question because as you said that is like, I always wonder if a player can lift himself after he's won the World Cup. Like you always have this thing in your mind, like your apex, your top of the mountain as any player anyways to win the World Cup. And it doesn't matter what age I just always wonder about a player to win a World Cup at the start of his career. Does he have the motivation? Because you got somewhere in his head's got to go, hey, I did win a World Cup.
Yeah, I won a World Cup. I'm playing for PSG. I'm living my best life.
And he was the star in the World Cup.
Star.
Like it was him. I think it was Griezmann's team. But okay, let's just say he did the flashy stuff, right? Like he was the guy at 19.
Yeah, so it's like there's got to be something in your brain somewhere, especially because France, they went all baller on it. They had NBA style rings made. What a nightmare.
Yeah, no, it was
Oh, Lord.
Yeah,
but somewhere in your brain, there's got to be a thing of like, I won the World Cup, and I always just wonder if that's ever going to come back on Mbappe. The thing about you have to praise everything on Haaland is that I just look now. Erling Haaland Googled. Okay, just to see it like that. First 2 stories about Raiola.
I just saw that now.
that's a huge asterisk.
That's a massive, massive thing. So nothing is cut and dry. We know that's not going to be cut and dry. James, so you've been Liverpool linked with Mbappe,
Yes.
perfect world.
Yes.
I mean, it's a joke.
Hilarious.
Go on. I mean,
Hilarious.
if he does that, then you definitely know he's got this thing of like, well, I won the World Cup. I may as well go to Liverpool.
Yeah.
Let me see how else I can
Yeah.
make my career interesting.
If you had to say legitimately choose, okay, because you actually, of all the teams, United haven't really been linked with Mbappe, Chelsea haven't been linked with Mbappe, you haven't really been linked with Haaland, but that's the point. If you had to choose, which one of the two would you take? Haaland or Mbappe?
Haaland, because he's a prolific goal scorer and we have the fast wingers. I mean, I'm not saying they're on the same level as Mbappe, but we have the fast wingers in Mane and Salah. We don't need another one. What are you going to do with Mane? Or what are you going to do with Salah? We can afford to replace Firmino with a prolific striker that plays up front. He's the target man. And maybe change the tactic from our usual false 9, in inverted commas, to...
Hey, maybe
else.
play all 4 of them.
Oh, imagine.
Yeah.
Well, Mane or Salah, one's definitely going. It's all hypothetical. I think, of those options you put there, PSG, why waste your time? Stay at Dortmund for another year. because that's Haaland's contract, right? If he leaves this summer, it's buyout clause for 75 million, something like that.
Yeah.
If he waits, then it's a bidding war.
The balloon payment comes.
And it's in everybody's interest. I think it's in Raiola's interest. What do you think, to move him now? Or, he gets more out of a bidding war.
Yeah, the
Huge.
bidding war gets more, bigger signing on fee.
So it's in everyone's interest. Dortmund, okay, they will end up in the Champions League again. I mean, it's going to take a disaster for that not to happen. So this is now we're talking next year because I think it's in everyone's interest to wait till next year. if you're going to go to PSG, why move? Why leave Dortmund to go to PSG? I mean, that's just a foolish move.
You're the star man at Dortmund.
That's a sideways move.
In a better league. In a way
You're
better
in a
league.
league that's competitive.
Yeah, in a way better league. Although, I mean, I don't know
It's
how.
close. It is as one team.
It is
It's
one
Bayern
team.
Munich and the rest, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Well, I mean, so is League One.
No, that's the point. Is why leave another one team league to another?
yeah.
You know.
You may as well stay.
Yeah.
May as well stay. In that scenario, I'd rather move to Bayern Munich then. At least win everything.
No, 100%.
You know.
And drink lots of beer.
Lewandowski's got what, 2 seasons left?
Yeah.
And then what you go there, back him up, maybe change to 4-4-2. They'll probably want to experiment, Hansi Flick.
Yeah. Look, that's not going to happen, but I
No.
mean, you may as well, right?
Yeah.
Chelsea, you know what I love about Chelsea? The Chelsea link. I actually saw you post something on Twitter the other day. It made me laugh. Chelsea do fantastically well with world-class strikers, right? What a success rate they have. Crespo, Shevchenko, Torres.
I was about to say Torres.
Morata,
Yeah.
Kesman at the time. I mean, sounds like a joke. That guy seemed like a no-brainer. So you guys do fantastically well
We do.
signing world-class strikers. So I mean,
Good job.
Good job.
Good job.
Excellence isn't for everyone.
Well,
So
okay,
eventually, it has to
Yeah.
come right.
Hey, listen, you know, I always look at it as you're looking at like the 15 we ruined. I just look at Costa and Drogba.
right.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So that's what I love about the Chelsea link. Real Madrid, I think it goes to our point earlier, is that this trajectory is going to hit a bump eventually. You know, you do hit a bump. I mean, that's just inevitable. And if he's at Real Madrid and that bump coincides, I mean, Real Madrid booed Benzema and Ronaldo.
Yeah.
At that crowd. So
it's a hard club to fit into.
It's
It is.
pure excellence all the time. So I mean, it ties into our conversation from earlier. But they also like gonna spunk their load on Mbappe. That's been the story for ages.
That's
Yeah.
a lovely image.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
like that.
Zidane spunking his load.
Ode on, yeah.
His Odegaard.
I was being
load.
sarcastic.
Hey, the Odegaard could be Norwegian for his spunk.
Oh, no.
Yeah, he spunked his Odegaard all over Haaland. But
So to
the Mbappe.
And so they all in on him. The United thing is fanciful because, I mean, yeah, it's probably in a way it makes sense. They're going to build it around him.
On the topic of the United thing, someone said, I would love to see Haaland at Man United, but doubt his dad will let him go to the club where one of their players ended his career.
Exactly. So that's all is going to be floating
Yeah.
around.
That's Roy Keane, by the way.
That's
Yes,
all is going to be floating
correct.
around. I just also don't think he has the time for United's path. You know, United's project is end date infinity.
Yeah.
You know,
Open-ended, if you will.
I think there's a plan.
TBD.
Yes, I think there's a plan there. I don't think there's an end date to that plan.
I'm with you.
You know, and we all know City's the most. It is the 100% most obvious choice. It's the most so boring, such a boring choice. I'd rather him go to Liverpool.
I think he's going to go. You know what? For me, as I said, I put Real Madrid first. You know why? Even with what you've said, and you are correct. But it's Real Madrid. You know, every other team in the world, because you know what the great
But
thing about being
don't they have a no Raiola policy at Real Madrid
Yeah,
as well? I think they do. I think they actively don't want his players.
for me, if I'm
hectic.
him, I find a way because everything is a downgrade from Real Madrid. Every other club in the world is a massive as well. I want to be vehemently clear. It is a massive downgrade from Real Madrid. Every other club. I don't care if you're Man United, Bayern Munich, Real Madrid is it. They are. There's nothing like being that. It's why I think Sergio Ramos is so great. Like you said, it's excellence all the time. To do that for 20 years is insane. But okay, that whole different point is you can always go to Man United from Real Madrid. I'm sorry, you're not going. If it fails at Man United, you're not going to Real Madrid.
Yeah.
You know, I just believe that.
Is the La Liga the league to be in right now?
See, I think again anomaly. I don't want to treat.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
doesn't
don't think it's not the league to be in. It's a dog show league. It's all about the Champions League. But I just think if you go to Real Madrid, put them in a bubble. For me, is don't look at them with real world rules. You go there, even if they played tiddlywinks in Taiwan for a living. Let's just hypothetically say you go to Real Madrid.
Yeah, that's always been true.
Yeah.
So his logic seems to bypass that club.
They're a different beast. And again, for me, hey, take it from a man who's wasted opportunities in life. That one doesn't come. I don't think that comes around twice. Ronaldo's the only guy I think I can remember in recent memory in modern day football where they've waited.
They turned it down. Yeah, turned it down.
Like it was
Said
the
wait-
first
well, he
time
said
Ronaldo.
wait. He
Yeah,
said wait. Yeah.
they don't wait. Like Haaland says, no, they're on. There's
Yeah.
another Brazilian kid they're looking for. So I hear you, but City. Oh, he goes to City. It's over for 10 years?
No, I don't. I mean, we always think that we thought Liverpool are going to dominate forever
I
because
did
they
not.
had Harvey Jones.
No.
What was that little top?
Harvey Elliott.
Yeah, they said, "Oh, Harvey Elliott,
Oh.
Curtis Jones. Look at they'll dominate forever."
So,
That
so
man
my
bun.
thing with the City move for Holland would be, he's competing with, well, not with Kunigwer anymore because he's announced that he's not going to be there, but he's not going to be the main man at City, which I think, I don't know if him as a person, that would be something that he struggles with. Is he like a very arrogant player, or what's his whole...
I think he's 100% that becomes his team because De Bruyne is, on a downward turn.
But he's also not that personality type.
Yeah.
Like Haaland's that personality.
I think this becomes 100% Haaland's team.
But tell me about this, is when you have Pep, it's quite interesting with Fergie. Even when Ronaldo was there, it was Fergie's club.
Yeah.
You go to Man City, I'm starting to get the feeling is there are no stars there.
Yeah.
Even with Messi, it was like, no, this is Pep's Barca. If Haaland goes there and all of a sudden, it's not the Haaland show.
But I don't think he is. I don't think he will be that way. I think he's got that little bit of cocky arrogance in the Israela.
Yeah.
I don't think he really is that way. And you're right about Pep. And I think the whole strategy around City is that they got this like band of 60 million pound players that they won't go above.
Yeah.
And they just settled there and they will continue buying in that band to that point that this is Pep's club. I mean, I think we're probably overshooting the arrogance. This isn't like major baller type thing.
Yeah, I like him.
He'll go in and he's got confident, but I mean, he knows City's bigger than him and Pep's bigger than him, and
Yeah.
I think he'll take that.
And Dad played there. I mean, we
Yeah.
must never forget that. His father played there. And
I love how. Now listen, I remember his dad playing. His dad was a nothing. His dad was a clogger.
Alfie Haaland.
He really was a clogger. But suddenly he's revered as his greatest footballer. He like got one lucky shot out of one sack once, and now all of a sudden we revere
Wow.
Alfie Haaland. I mean, the most famous thing is was getting in the way of Roy Keane's studs because I don't think Keane meant to hit him.
Yeah, no, it was deliberately by mistake.
It's like genetic. You win the genetic lottery, and now all of a sudden your career is remembered differently. He was a clogger, man.
I've always said if I have kids, they are at an elite training center immediately because they're an investment for me. I'm not having kids for the love and companionship. Forget that nonsense. I'm on the Tiger Woods' dad vibe. By the way,
Go for it.
next time I watched the first part of the Tiger Woods documentary, but I don't want to talk about it right now because I have to watch the second part.
All right.
Yeah, that is an insane documentary if you haven't seen it.
I can't get hold of it. I'm not...
Oh, because you're not pirating.
yeah, exactly.
Good person. You're a good person. On
Good-
that
good-
note, James,
good-
let's
good
finish
person.
off on a strong note.
Did you pirate it?
No,
I thought you said you weren't pirating.
I didn't pirate it.
But then where are you watching it?
I watched it with a friend on Netflix.
Was it like a
No,
friend?
on HBO. On HBO. Yeah.
Was it like an HBO and chill situation? Or what
No.
was it?
It was a man human, and I'm aggressively heterosexual.
Well, I mean, look,
Yeah. Oh, nobody knows. No, I'm very, very.
2021, right?
Yeah. Well, hey, but I'm not judging anybody else. I'm just saying I'm aggressively heterosexual. Yeah. Oh, unbelievable docu. But I'm with you. If I have kids, it's got you got to be Haaland. You got to be Haaland or boarding school.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
I just love the revisionism on his career. I mean,
Yeah.
it's
All of a
hilarious.
sudden,
It's
yeah.
hilarious.
Yeah, he'll raise his son right. Unbelievable what the media will do. All right, should we finish off on this one?
Sorry, before we do, are we moving on to another segment? Or?
Yeah, but let's hear it.
I see Raiola pushing for PSG or Madrid because that's where he will make the most money from Twitter, is what we've got, which I kind of agree with, actually.
Dare say those are the clubs who probably offer the most favorable image rights.
Yes.
Real Madrid.
The cynic in me says those clubs probably offer very, very good image
Sure.
rights.
At Real Madrid, huh?
Maybe.
Yeah. No, Madrid's the place to go.
He's trying to draw someone out. He's doing that to draw someone out.
Like, where would he make the most money? Premier League?
United. He will make the most money out
That's
of
true.
United.
Oof. You get
Commercial
him,
rights at United.
But you get him, does Pogba, sorry, get the hell out.
No, I don't think it's not even worth trying to find the logic of it. But you say, where does he make the most money?
United. Huh?
United. No question.
Yeah.
What do you want?
Those
How much?
commercial rights would
You've
skyrocket.
done us in so many times, but you know what? Daddy's come
Hey.
here, Daddy Mina.
I
Bring your
guess-
dirty tracksuits.
Oh, that's it.
Lord.
But it's that lack of self-confidence. Again, like, hey, we've made this mistake before. We'll fix him.
We'll do
It'll
it.
work the third
We'll
time.
Fix it. Ole gave him his debut come home to Ole.
Yes, and then let's deal with Mino Raiola again.
Yeah, no, he's changed.
What, is it
People
the
can change.
self-masochism, huh?
It could be. It's like, during COVID, everyone had to look at themselves, realize life is
Yes.
short.
Oh
Maybe
my
Mina
God.
changed.
Yeah.
Maybe Mina changed.
Yeah. He's been like that for 25 years,
No.
but maybe now.
He's taking on EA Sports right now because he believes that they're stealing his players' image rights. He wants money.
Yeah.
Please.
Mina will change.
Yeah.
I have a question. Sorry. So that tweet that I just read, there's been a reply to it that I wanted to ask you guys about. It says he can push wherever he likes, but Dortmund are still in Bayern's debt. That's where he'll go if Bayern wants him. Why are Dortmund in Bayern's debt?
I don't know. Well, what was it, Hummels?
I can't think of anything.
What was it on Lewandowski?
Dortmund owe Bayern.
Apparently. I mean, they are known for going back and forth with their transfers.
Who was the last one? Because they took Hummels off
I,
them.
I would, I would in no way be surprised. But Bayern do their business early though.
They do.
So that's the only thing. They make their moves very quickly. I'd be no way surprised if he does, like if somehow end of the season at that price he goes to Bayern, because that's just how shrewd they can be. But they do their business early.
And is there a Raiola guy at Bayern? Because I just don't see Rummenigge putting
I
up with
don't
that
think so.
malarkey. No,
I
like
don't think so.
Rummenigge just, you know how he got rid of Pep Guardiola. Are you joking?
I don't think so. I would not be surprised. I mean, take logic out of it, and thinking of how they do things, I would not be surprised. But
Karl-Heinz Rummenigge and Mino Raiola. They are what? That's
they're the same person, basically.
yeah.
Savages is
Yeah.
what they are.
No, that ain't gonna work. All right,
Okay, sorry, we can finally move on. That's my bad.
we can move on. All right, let's finish off on this one. This one's close to my
But listen,
heart.
the questions are great. I love the Twitter stuff. So cool.
Yeah, I like
It's really
it.
nice.
It's interesting, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, people ask questions. People
In
are out
depth.
there. People are listening. That's good.
We
Speaking of which, like, share, subscribe. By the way, the podcast on the Cliff Central app, cliffcentral.com, or wherever you get your podcasts. James, where do you listen to podcasts?
I listen to it still on Apple Podcasts, but now also on what's that one called? Pocket Casts.
Yeah.
But don't make the same mistake as me. This is me addressing the listeners. I remember when I sent that screenshot to you on the WhatsApp group.
Well, tell people. You have to describe to people. Remember, they haven't seen that WhatsApp that you sent to me.
I sent a picture on our WhatsApp group that we have, saying, you went on about how easy Pocket Casts is to find podcasts, and you like plug and play and blah blah blah. And I had Pocket Casts, and I'm like, okay, let me find our show and whatever. And it took me about 3 hours to find it.
Yeah.
Only to realize I was searching the wrong name. So don't search Cliff Central Sport. I forgot that Umbelelo is quite egotistical. So it's actually the MKT Show on all of these podcast apps.
And don't you forget it. The
Don't.
MKT Show, and don't you forget it. Damn right. Okay, well, that's where James listens to his podcast. And clearly, again, they don't do mathematics. They don't do grammar. They don't do spelling. They don't do reading. They don't do comprehension at AFTA. What do they do there, James? If you remember the show you work on and are one of the producers of. I mean, what hope do we have?
Quite a lot. At AFTA, everything's practical. No exams.
Oh, yeah? All the
so-
dum-dums.
Jeez.
Oh, okay.
I-
I thought, sorry, is that news to you?
Like I say, I think it's a James issue more than
Oh,
an issue.
because I've met some nice, smart people from AFTA.
Like Dill.
Well, like many people. But all right, listen, James, don't take it personally. It's just feedback. You can grow from it. All right, I want to move on. This one's close to my heart. His name's Eden Hazard. Everybody's talking about him coming back to Chelsea.
Sorry, Eaton Hazard. Sorry. He's been Eden Hazard. I just thought of it right now.
No, that was you nailed it as well. That's a
Nice.
slam dunk. And for those who, I'm not even going to explain it. Eaton Hazard, huh? Is that what you're saying?
I just thought of it. Just came to my
Eaton.
I
mind.
really want to do a clap for you, but I think it's this one. I don't want to get it wrong again.
Take a chance.
Ooh, that's
Oh,
all.
that's empty.
Oh, that is the applause. Good.
Nailed it.
Thank you. Thank you.
You nailed that.
Nailed it. Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
All right.
Proud of
That's
you.
the applause. Okay. Back to the topic. Eden has back to Chelsea. People are saying 2 massive ankle injuries now. Partly related to what Paolo just said. His waistline has been somewhat above average for a footballer since he arrived there. That's a problem, number one. But I want to go back to the relationship thing. Listen, I've got a policy in life, and I've stuck to this. The last time I was in a relationship was 8 years ago. But I've got a policy. is that when you break up with somebody, never, ever, 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 ever get back with them again. Ever. You know why? Because the reason you broke up with them will always exist. I know you're going to run into her. She's looking fabulous at the shopping center, blah, blah, blah. You run into her. She's doing well. She's gymming, the new job. The reason you broke up will always exist. And there's people that'll tell you, oh, no, but the second time they've matured, blah, blah, blah. Listen, it'll never be the same the second time as the first time. Ever. It'll never, ever, ever. I don't care. That resentment, even if you're keeping it down and you're turning it into an ulcer in your feelings in your stomach, it'll never be the same. It'll never be the same. I don't care how much people tell you they've grown and people grow. People don't change. People don't change. I'll tell you something about Eden Hazard. He was awesome at Chelsea. He was a legend at Chelsea. It is a legend at Chelsea. Anything Eden Hazard comes back now to do is a downgrade. It's a mess. It's a terrible situation. No matter what he comes and does, we will never have his best years again. 2 massive ankle injuries. And his game is moving side to side. It's the shimmy. It's ball protection. It's strength. Folks, there are certain players, Leo Messi being one of them. I think Messi can lose all of his pace. It won't matter because the technique is everything. For Eden Hazard, he needs the power. He needs the movement. He needs the pace because he's never been a Leo Messi and a Xavi. He can't really pass the ball like that. He can't control the tempo like David Silva. That ain't him. It's give me the ball, I'll protect it, I jink, I go left, I go right, I work you with my body. That's such a big part of his game. He loses that, it's 50% of the game. For Leo Messi, I think the pace thing is maybe 20% of the game. He's a visionary of the game. Xavi Hernandez, I mean, he couldn't walk faster than my grandmother, but put the ball at his feet, he'll ping you 60, 70 yards away. Paul Scholes. These are guys where the physical thing, don't even worry about it. Eden Hazard, the physical part is absolutely massive for him. But another thing as a Chelsea fan, and James, you can take this into your life moving forward. Eden Hazard had an option to sign a deal with Chelsea. He said no. If you've got self-confidence, and everybody should, if your first option says no to you, leave him or her. You leave. Because when somebody doesn't want you and they kind of explore the market a little bit and, oh, well, it didn't work out over there and I'm settling for you. Again, that's not where you want to be. And if you want to win, Real Madrid don't do that. Bayern Munich do not do that. It's we want the player, we get him. He says no, we move on. Because we got 3 other options in that position, I'm moving on. That's how Chelsea has to roll because the Hazard thing feels a little needy. And if Chelsea do this, you get the United feel, you get the Liverpool feel for 30 years is we'll kind of take anybody, we'll make a romantic signing. Winning is not a romantic business. Winning in life is not a romantic business. Folks, you want to win, move on. Hazard had his time. Chelsea's seen his best years. What is it that Hazard is going to come and do for Chelsea now that'll eclipse what he is for the club before? What is it that he will do now, 2 ankle injuries later, that he couldn't do 150 million pounds ago? Folks, you've moved on. You've got a club legend, and it is what it is now. I'm sorry, 6 league starts in 2 seasons. Are you kidding me? Why you bring him back to a more physical league in a more demanding time? And by the way, the Premier League's better now than when he left because all the best managers, where are they? England. Now it's a whole different beast. I'm not saying he's not a Premier League legend, but folks, in life, learn to move on. And I just want to finish off on this. In life, we are what we are. And there are some people who are unlucky. I'm not a proponent of luck, but okay, let's call it that. Unlucky. Life circumstances do what they do. But there is also a thing, if you want to be a grown-up, folks, we are who we are. You know, we spoke about it just now about Mino Raiola. Paolo was saying Mino probably hasn't changed. Folks, let me tell you this. Eden Hazard now is what he is. He's injury prone. He's had 2 massive injuries, 2 massive starts in 6 starts in 2 seasons. Are you kidding? That ain't gonna work. That ain't gonna work. That ain't gonna work. You are what you are in life, and the more you grow up, you know you got to accept that. And I'm afraid for Chelsea fans, the romanticism is dead. Your thoughts?
My thoughts. Just while you were talking, someone on the Twitter called Mino Raiola a troll. Just found that hilarious.
Oh. He does look like it.
He does.
Yeah.
So Hazard, I think he's definitely past his days. I think if he was to come back to the Premier League, he would struggle more than he's struggling at Real at the moment. not only because of his weight, but I think also because of how much more, even in the space of a year, 2 years, how much more competitive the Premier League has become. You now have sides like West Ham who are in the top 4 or top 5, Everton also. The top 6 isn't the old top 6. And yes, he may go back to Chelsea. Probably will if he goes back to the Premier League. But, you know.
And by the way, another thing is nobody's ever the same after a divorce.
No.
I don't care how beautiful or handsome somebody is. They're all damaged after being rejected. Rejection's awful for everybody. Eden Hazard's been rejected by Real Madrid now. It ain't working. He ain't coming back mentally the same.
That's why I say he's going to go back to Chelsea and it's not going to
It'll be a disaster.
No, this has got a David Gold and David Sullivan West Ham inappropriate glamour loan written all over it.
You think so?
The Hammers.
This season long, against all of Moyes' wishes, this has got a West Ham glamour loan written all over it.
Oh my God. And he becomes Dimitri Payet.
Yo, that's what's happening. A couple of things there. When you said 150 million pounds, I had to be sure that you're saying sterling and not actual
Oh, his weight.
weight.
Around his stomach.
And you know, that's a terrible thing because, I mean, obviously they're supreme athletes. And like we said earlier about the PSL, I don't want to watch players who theoretically in my mind, I think I could play at least as well as them. When you say a footballer's overweight, I mean, like they're not overweight. I mean, people like Frank Lampard, Fat Frank. Like, no, he wasn't. That man was like granite, right?
Yeah.
That man
But-
was a tank.
You know, but Hazard is like, that's weight, my man.
No. So for me, by the way, I have no shame in saying this. If you are a sportsman and you're overweight at an elite level, I have got no time for you. Like that really,
That's your
that's
job.
a character
That's
thing.
your job. Like, God damn it.
It's only because you have 8% body fat.
I do have 8% body fat, but no, Paulo, I'm sorry. What do people? What do you call it now? The shaming thing that people
yeah.
Body shaming.
Body shaming. Hey, I'm not talking about a single mother with 2 kids.
No, we're talking
walking
about
up the
an
park.
elite footballer who at one stage was legitimately third best to Ronaldo and Messi. That's where Hazard was. And I think the theme of today's show. Sorry, James.
He has picked it up.
No, he has.
A lot.
And white doesn't help, guys.
Look at
White
this.
does
Yeah,
not help
no,
you.
it shows all of the wrinkles.
White does. And Adidas aren't one of those clubs that make slim fit. You know, Nike and Puma do the slim fit.
Yeah.
That can't be real. That has to be.
Oh, no,
Photoshop.
he is.
I've
listen,
seen.
I haven't seen
look,
the picture.
I can't say on that picture, but I have seen video, like actual video. It's not complimentary.
No, he's in the 3rd trimester.
Yeah,
He
no.
is massive.
Wow.
He is ready to burst.
That is a man who makes his career from running around all day. Like, surely you're running around in hot sun, in like compression gear.
In Spain.
That's just going to help you lose 3 kilos a day. Just.
It's why I have no time for Luke Shaw, and he's been the best left back in the Premier League this season. I'm sorry, if you're overweight
You know-
in football, I have no shame in saying, "What are you?" You're not a single mom with 2 kids, Paulo. I understand when parents have extra weight in the streets.
You shouldn't.
What are you
because
doing on a Thursday morning?
You know, you shouldn't because you run around
Yeah.
every day for a couple of hours in compression gear. Like, that's going to make you sweat it off. I mean, it just means your lifestyle outside of that is a mess.
And then there's also levels, right? Like, okay, he's not at Leicester, he's not at
He's-
Arsenal, he's at Real Madrid. What are you doing carrying extra weight?
But isn't that the theme? It seems that's inadvertently become the theme of the day. As we've gone through, we've gone Odegaard rejected from Real Madrid. They don't have time for losers. Haaland, should he go because inevitably he'll hit the bump? They don't have time for losers. Real Madrid, Hazard don't have time for losers.
The white handkerchiefs are out.
It's just become a theme that like Real Madrid is like the show.
Why
no
do-
time for losers.
Exactly
Why do
like the
players
show.
want to go there?
Hey, listen.
I mean, exactly.
Your
It's
career
such a-
just goes downhill.
but-
No, well,
but
James,
you. And
if I
it's
said to
true.
you,
you never become a legend.
if I said Megan Fox wanted to date you, what do you do?
Yeah.
Right? What are you going to do? Say no to who's the Australian lady? I don't know, pop stars.
And you know she's going to bin you. You know Megan Fox is going to
Yeah.
kick you
Well,
out.
I mean, she's dating Machine Gun Kelly at the moment, so
Who's Machine Gun Kelly? That's an unbelievable name. Tell me
He-
I thought
everything.
you were talking about a Zulu guy.
Yeah, Umshengeni Kelly. I thought that's what you were saying. I thought, oh,
what did you say?
good for the brothers. Umshengeni. Okay.
No, he's an American rapper / rock artist.
Oh
He's
my
got beef
goodness.
with Eminem. He said
He's
he
the
did
one-
something with
yes,
Eminem's daughter.
yes.
Yeah.
He's
White dude, black dude.
He's a white dude.
Machine
He tweeted
Gun
something
Kelly.
about Eminem's daughter a couple of years ago, and then Eminem released a diss track, and then he released a diss track, and then it was like a whole back and forth. It's wild.
So Megan Fox is dating Okay, maybe that was a bad example. If Scarlett Johansson said she's dating Machine Gun Kelly, that's madness.
It's wild.
If Scarlett Johansson said, "I'll date you, but it'll only last 2 months. It'll be the best 2 months of your life, definitely guaranteed. But then you'll be absolutely heartbroken afterwards. Would you do it?" Yeah, you see, you've got the fact that you have to think about it lets me know that's Real Madrid. You can't say no to that. Who in their right mind says no to Real Madrid? And you know it's going to be horrible.
Sure. No. I get
And
it.
Paulo said it.
I get it. It's Real Madrid. It's an institution, one of, if not the biggest clubs in the world. But surely some of these players do think to themselves sometimes, is Real Madrid the move for my career?
Again, if Scarlett Johansson came to you and said, "We're going to date for 2 months," and then it's over, you're not saying no to that. I'm sorry. Unless you are Brad Pitt or some sort of sanctimonious guy who goes, "It's about personality," or whatever rubbish people say now, you're going to date Scarlett Johansson. Like, forget it. You got no chance. I'm sorry.
Fair enough.
Or whoever. I don't know who kids like now. I'm old, James. Who's the?
Margot Robbie.
Oh,
That's a good one.
Hey, I took her on a hike. I'll tell you that. I'll tell you that story.
No, tell me. I
Oh,
want to
yeah.
know it.
Don't worry about it. Took her on a
No,
hike in
she's
Cape
like
Town.
my celeb crush. Tell
Okay.
me. Tell
Does
me.
your girlfriend know this? By the way,
Yes,
this
she
could also-
does. She does.
Oh, okay. Do you
Yes.
guys have that rule? Like, you can have a celebrity crush and no one gets jealous. Is that the whole thing? I know some couples have that.
I don't think so.
Okay, that's a real thing though, or not? Paulo, am I?
Why do relationships have to be that hard, like, to
It's
manage?
it's the get out of jail free card. with the
there it
celeb,
is.
Yeah,
So if you ever saw,
everyone's got one.
yeah,
No, wait, is it the get out of jail free card in the sense of, like, if that person came up to you and said, "Let's have a night."
Sure.
Let's
Doing
have a
what, James? What would you-
Netflix and chill night.
okay. Well, that's just watching movies, isn't it? Or what are you talking about there, James?
Watching movies.
Okay, with this guy. Okay.
Is that the get out of jail free card?
Yes, yeah.
Ah.
That like if you ever saw Margot Robbie, your girlfriend would have to understand. Obviously, Margot Robbie would see your beard and go, "Oh my god, oh mate, oh walla walla bing bong," or whatever Australians say.
I distance myself from that comment.
Yeah, I don't know what Australians say. you'd have to do it, right?
I don't know if we have that agreement between us. I just feel like
Get one in place.
Yeah.
Should I?
Just in the off chance, you never know.
And by the way, like I said, I took Margot Robbie on a hike.
How was it?
It was hot, and we went hiking. I'm not like you, James. I was a professional. I was doing a job.
Wait, it was a job?
Yeah, that was my job in Cape Town for a while. Listen, you're going to learn plenty about me. I've done some stuff, James. I have done some wild stuff, and Paulo even more. But I've done some stuff. But the Eden Hazard thing, I want to finish off on this. For me, it's over. And don't come back to Chelsea as a Chelsea fan. I'd love to know what other people think. Paulo Diaz, you're a legend. When are you back? Friday, huh?
Are we doing a show Friday this week?
Friday is
is
a
it a
public
holiday?
holiday.
What kind of holiday is it?
It is
It's religious.
I'm playing football on Friday.
Paulo, Portuguese, very Catholic. James, what's your reason for being Catholic? I'm not religious, so what are you?
I went to a Catholic
School.
school.
Yeah. I do know the school you went to. Very Catholic.
Yeah, I never really was into the whole religion thing.
But Friday. Oh, public holiday. Get into it. I
No,
can
well-
get into it.
I'm not taking Friday for, like, oh my god, I have to celebrate Good Friday.
Yes, check.
That pause
Sorry,
was James looking at his phone to see what
I
day.
did. I'm not
wish we
gonna lie.
Very good. All right. So you're taking. Okay. I guess we don't have a show Friday. And is Monday a holiday as well?
Monday's
I
a
think so,
holiday.
yeah.
So is Monday the day where Jesus came back from the rock thing?
No, Sunday is the day
Okay, and then
that
Monday.
he rose. Then Monday was just like, get your affairs in order. Make sure your paperwork's all.
Yeah.
We're going to heaven. We've got to.
Rehydrate. it's going to be a long trip.
Shut up at the gates. St. Peter was like, "How's it going?
Yeah.
Your dad's missed you."
Why is there lightning striking outside?
All right. Before we tempt fate, Paulo Diaz, we'll see. So what next week? Oh, who knows? Maybe.
No, Thursday. So listen, if you'll have me, yeah, on Thursday.
we'll have you.
Sorry, you said tempt fate, or are we tempting faith?
Oh, very good, James. That's like the Eden
Faith.
Hazard thing. Hey, we done puns today. It's been a super pun show. I like the Eden Hazard. I like tempting faith. I like it. I like it.
Nailed it.
James, by the way, your beard is unbelievable.
Exceptional, right?
Listen, before we finish, I have to ask questions. Do you treat it? Do you do those douchebag oils that I know like your generation does?
No, so I used to go probably once a month to get it trimmed with like a cutthroat and like everything.
Mhm.
And then about a month and a half ago, I learned how to do it all myself. But then it gets to a point where I can't manage it properly, so I still have to go.
Oh, I see.
Right. And that's what I did this past weekend. I got a haircut and got my beard looking
It looks awesome.
fresh to death, right?
Yeah, I know. It looks good. I think your girlfriend should be concerned that you're changing your behavior. But anyway, who am I to get involved in your relationship? You are a very nice guy. But Jimbo, good stuff today. We'll see you
Good
on the
stuff.
morrow. Paulo Tiesh, you're a legend.
Is Paolo joining us for Thursday? Yeah?
Thursday. So that conversation was almost strategically placed in the light of we're talking to a similar type sponsor that would appreciate that sort of conversation.
We'll reveal more.
Hopefully.
Look, if you want me to do it myself, to the sponsor that's listening, I will.
Sure.
There
All
you
right.
go.
They are definitely listening. And
They will definitely be getting this clip.
Oh, man, you guys are legends. It's been great. Thanks for joining us today. It was awesome. Another one, 30th of March. By the way, be safe, be loved this weekend. Even if you don't celebrate, I think holidays, I'm speaking specifically to South Africans. Is this one a global one?
It's worldwide, yeah.
Okay, so Jesus
Good Friday
was global.
is,
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Jesus was fairly global, yeah.
Pretty,
Yeah.
pretty big brand, huh?
Huge.
All right, yeah.
It got into
Like
all
Nike.
markets. Yeah.
Kind of
Okay.
like Nike, basically.
Wherever you are, enjoy. And I think the great thing is when we're all off at the same time, we've had a pretty rough, last 15 months as society. So enjoy being with your family, enjoy being with loved ones. And let's just, be nice to each other. If you can, for this weekend, spend time with that sister, brother you don't know, or you've been, you haven't spent time with mom, dad, wives, reconnect with your girlfriend, boyfriend. For those who we won't get to chat to before the weekend, I think it's an important thing. So to my friends that are here, great to have them with me. Appreciate you guys. And to everybody at home, ladies and gentlemen, it's been an absolute pleasure. This is Cliff Central Sport, the MKT Show. But for now, we are the hell out of here.